What's up, my dudes? It's the Vigorous Q&A again. Did you see the Bitcoin chart? We broke $100,000. So for all of the guys who've been in the crypto game for a very long time, since what, 2010, 2011, 14, 15, 17, whatever, you might have joined in. For the guys who hold it and traded all the way through, life-changing money has been made for many of you guys. And I'm very happy that all of us that are still into crypto have held through all the bear markets, have held through all the bullshit from family members where they say they didn't believe in it. Oh, you're going to lose all your money. You're going to lose this. You're going to lose that. You'll never make money. Because all the Bitcoin guys that I know are in the seven-figure mark now. So good times ahead. I think it's going to keep going for, let's say, February, March, April. Let's see what's going on, right? Of course, eventually Bitcoin is going to top, and then most of the funds are going to move into Ethereum or Solana, whatever is the hot topic. I mean, they're still kind of low. Solana hasn't really been moving, but Ethereum is finally starting to break out, even though it might still go lower depending on how Bitcoin moves. And then the rest of the altcoins are going to move after that, right? The top 20, and then the small cap alts, all the meme coins and that kind of stuff. So for all the guys that are making money left and right, as I am, congratulations. We got it fucking done. Yeah, very happy to see this. I've been in since 2015. So let's see what else is on the menu. I'm jacked, but I had to throw in the towel in the cycle, man. So Saturday I went to that bodybuilding show. I fasted the entire day. Then my digestion was flawless. We had a great, vigorous Q&A. And then Sunday I went out to dinner with my wife. I had 2 cookies too much. Bloated all fucking day. And then Monday I woke up at 262 pounds. Yeah, so I was like, you know what? Anadrol out, YK-11 out, topical DHT out, growth hormone out, IGF-1 out. Basically, I reduced it to 2 shots of 1 ampule of Bayer testifier per week. So I'll do that Monday, SubQ an entire amp, and then Friday an entire amp. And we're going to do that throughout the entirety of December at least, and then obviously in January. By the rate my off-season was going, I could have pushed, honestly, my off-season until March, and then go to the Arnold Classic and then do the gyno surgery after that. That was initially my thought. Like, I'm making so many gains and making so many progress, and then, you know, hover around 250, 260 for a while, recomp and make these phenomenal gains. But my digestion can't take it. So I think it's time to take a step back, reassess, go back to a bodybuilder cruise dose. I think 500, 600 milligrams per week is enough to keep this size and keep my metabolism going. And then I'll just do the gyno surgery in January like I initially planned. And then do a 1-week fast after I come back from New Zealand for Christmas. Because, well, let's be honest, for Christmas I'll eat like a butthole. So, yeah, we're not going to make any changes there. So we'll fast for about a week, get the digestion under control, and then do carnivore for a month while I'm recovering from the gyno surgery. Because I won't really be able to train, obviously, with the gyno surgery. No heavy legs, no chest, no back, no nothing. Basically, I'll be wearing that super tight harness to kind of keep everything compressed and make it recover. And then the only thing I can really do is cardio. So that'll be a good opportunity to get lean. And then depending on how I feel and how everything heals, then I might be able to push hard again in February. As long as my calories stay somewhat high during the carnivore time. And hopefully I can get my digestion under control now, because I literally bloat from everything and I'm kind of sick of it. So I came to the conclusion, what's the fucking point if I just, every meal kind of upsets my stomach? Let's give the digestion a little bit of a break. But after Christmas, because, well, tomorrow I go to the UK, and then I go to Amsterdam to visit my family for a couple of days. I'm not going to say no to my mom's cooking. You know, that'd be a fucking asshole move. You're coming home and your mom cooks all these nice meals, and then you're like, no, mom, I'm sorry, it's bodybuilding ruined my digestion, so I can't eat it. It's not gonna work. So we'll cruise throughout December and then January, and then fix my digestion in January, do the gyno surgery and LASIK eye surgery, and then from February I should be good to go again. So let's see, what else is there to report? Oh yeah, iHerb has like crazy discounts, 20 to 50%. So I guess they skipped out on Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals. Those are all closed. But now they have, I think, 20% on their house brands and 50% on New Year's supplements, like probably vitamin D and then, you know, vitamin C, all the stuff, zinc, quote unquote, all the stuff that's supposed to boost your immune system. So the links are down below. They switched to a different affiliate manager. So a little bit different links. But the discount code is still the same. Keep using that for 5% discount. But if you use my code, you might get 20. I actually should update that, right? 20 to 50% discount on whatever is linked. All right, save. Let's see. The WADA-approved doping snack. Finally, it's ready. It took my editor 10 days. And then I had to proof watch it, but we finally got it done. So it'll be live on Monday. It's a whopping 1 hour and 38 minutes. Use the timestamps to skip ahead to your favorite segment. WADA pissed me off, so I included everything. Some of it might not be relevant for you, but for all the fake half-natty bodybuilders out there, this is the video that you've been looking for, dropping right before 2025 when the new WADA prohibited list goes into motion. Let's see. I'm still working on the deep dives, but it's going to be a little bit of a slow month in December because obviously next week I'm going to travel to the UK and Holland. I won't be able to do any research. I'll be able to do emails, maybe some consultations if I have time. And I'm just going to spend time with my family. And then I have 1 week where we plan to record an anabolic roundtable. And then the week after that is Christmas. So expect a very slow month for me in December. But hey, yours truly needs a break too. But the good thing is in January, after my gyno surgery, I won't be able to go to the gym. So that frees up a lot of time and clears up all the brain fog. That being said, Anabolic Roundtable, the peptide tier list, should be dropping sometime next week on Wednesday or Thursday. And then, after that might be the year supplement stack, the Methylene Blue deep dive, the YK-11 deep dive, and, the most important video of this YouTube channel that you guys have all been patiently waiting for. And if you were there last week at the end of the live stream, then you know what that video is going to be about. All right, we had a couple, or quite a few member questions. I answered about half in the, the community page, the community tab on Instagram or on YouTube, because most of them are not really suitable and just kind of repetitive. So I just answered them briefly there. So if you don't see your question answered here, then go back to the community page and see my reply, because most of them are just short answers and it's not even worth copying. So let's get started with 2.5 hours of back-to-back Q&As. And in between every Q&A, what I'm going to try this Q&A, I'm going to ask you guys to like. Because if I don't ask, then you guys are not going to like. There's 95 people here now. Press that like button. And then after we come to the next question, I'm going to ask again, until I see as many likes as I see views by the time we're done. And usually we get about 2,000, 2,500 views on this vigorous Q&A. So, I mean, guys, no lift, no gift. If you can't do it, something simple like that, just like the video, then I don't know if this Q&A will be here next year. It's that simple, right? I do my part, do yours. All right, Emperor Shreve. Hey, bro, have you gotten a chance to try DADA plus rituximab while on a normal ketogenic diet? I wonder if that might cause ketoacidosis. No, I tried DADA during the off-season, right? So I ate about 5,000 calories or 4,600 calories, give or take. And I don't want to run rituximab during the off-season. Yes, it might help with liver health, but I want the appetite suppression for the time that the moment comes. So if I run rituximab the entire off-season, and then I start cutting again, what can I use to kill my appetite? Nothing, right? So I'd rather just save it for when I need it, and it's not a cheap compound. But the DADA, holy moly. Holy shit, 100 milligrams before leg day, 50 milligrams before chest day. I tried 200 milligrams one time. That's too much. It makes you fucking dizzy. And then the workout is great, but you just feel a little bit funky. So that was too much for me. But yeah, 100 milligrams, half a cc from Modern Aminos, discount code Vigorous, in case you're interested. Yeah, good stuff. And I tried the rituximab from Modern Aminos as well as Amino Asylum. Good results as expected. 1 milligram, 1.3 milligrams, 3 times per week, SubQ Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And that gives me all the appetite suppression and the beneficial fat loss that you would expect from glucagon receptor activation and GIP activation. But I'm just not interested in running that during the off season, because otherwise you lose the appetite blunting effect for your cutting phase. And I just don't want to run drugs the entire year through unless it's testosterone. So that's it. Plus, the reduction in intestinal motility. If you're already dealing with digestive issues, eating 5,000 calories per day to grow, I don't think it's a good idea. I would rather be on thyroid medication to speed up intestinal motility and nutrient partitioning with the IGF-1 and the growth hormone and all the testosterone that your body can handle, and then take it from there. But that's just me, right? Everybody has their own way. You got to figure out what works for you. Steve, can a low dose Winstrol 10 milligrams be beneficial on a test? Tren Anadrol 50 milligrams GH cycle. Yeah, it's better than no Winstrol. I mean, I did 25, or what was it? No, 50 milligrams SubQ per week, but it was injectable Winstrol. So that'll be, let's say, an equivalent of 10 milligrams oral Winstrol per day. It did not prevent the edema that I got from the growth hormone, but I used the Tiger GH, which gave me pretty bad edema. So I switched to the Beltropin, Belegus growth hormone. Gave me a lot less edema, but then by the time I was already off the Winstrol, the YK-11 did make me a lot drier, though. So I removed the YK-11 and the Anadrol, and then I started retaining water. As you might be able to see, I'm a little bit more puffy. But I also had a pizza today with my wife, because tomorrow I want to fast before flying to the UK. So some variability. I just felt that, I also feel that my estrogen is going a little bit higher because I started getting a little bit pissy towards the end of the week. But maybe it's taking all the drugs out and just realizing that I'm not going to grow anymore. Maybe that's it. Maybe that makes me a little bit pissy. Never know. So, but yeah, 70 milligrams per week. I'm sure it's going to make you look better than without it. You know how much muscle you're going to gain from it. I would see Winstrol mostly as a cosmetic enhancing drug, just like Mastrone, even though Winstrol is clearly anabolic. But there's nothing else like it to thin your skin and remove a little bit of subcutaneous water retention. I mean, it's an angioedema medication after all. Ilya, hey Steve, only one brand of Methylene Blue is available in my country, though it says with addition of nano liquid gold and ORMUS minerals. Have you ever come across? No, never heard of that. If it has additional ingredients, please research each and every single one of them and see what the Methylene Blue is made for, because a lot of Methylene Blue is like aquarium grade, where you mix it into your aquarium for, I don't know, the health of your fish or whatever it is. I saw a lot of those here in Thailand. And then it's like 99.7% purity. And you're like, what is the other 0.3%? Lead? You know, so dude, do your research and otherwise order online, man. I mean, Modern Aminos has it. You can buy some reputable brands on Amazon, depending on where you live and if they can ship it in. So go with the best quality you can get, man. And if it has liquid gold, if you want to consume gold, go with Gold Strike. Very popular drink in Europe. It's some sort of rum with cinnamon and little gold flakes. I used to get crazy drunk on that shit when I was like 16. Yeah, don't ask. I had a good life, though. I had a good teenage life. But yeah, after vomiting violently all over, my own house, I have never consumed gold in a beverage again. So do some research what these minerals and golds might potentially do to you, and then see if it's suitable or not. Selfless Fitness with a $20 super chat. Here we go. Shake it, baby. Currently 6 weeks into a cutting cycle, 350 milligrams test, 200 milligrams Primo weekly, 20 milligrams VAR, 5 I use GH daily. I started 25 milligrams Tren weekly, spit daily, SubQ. Nice. It's catching on. Everybody will tell you that it's a waste. Is the Tren a waste? No, man. It's enough to block the glucocorticoid receptors and get an anabolic to androgenic dissociation, which means zero side effects and all the benefits. First time trying Tren, only 2 daily micro administrations in. Run it for 6 weeks like this and tell me you don't look better if you keep everything the same. Even if you don't change your diet, you don't change your training, you don't change your cardio, I will promise you, within 6 weeks on 25 milligrams SubQ Tren Ace weekly, you will look significantly better as I did. You know? So just if people ask, just tell them 25 milligrams per day, because people can't believe it. People are lazy. People think that everybody takes way more drugs than they should. I mean, just go to the comments of the Kenny KO Instagram page. That will tell you look old as fuck, and you take 750 milligrams per day instead of weekly. If I looked old, it's because of these shitty American foods being fucking oxidizing to your face. It's not because, I mean, look at my face here with some nice natural lighting, eating foods that I should be eating. Well, whatever. General population always is brutal. So yeah, 25 milligrams Tren Ace per week, and give it a try for 6 weeks. And if you don't notice a fucking difference after 4 weeks, you can always bump it up to 50 milligrams or 75 milligrams or 150 milligrams, whatever you prefer. But building up slowly and then holding at a dose where you notice the benefits, I'm not against that. I mean, I've always done it like that also. You know, start low, build your way up, and then take it from there. And if you end up at, I don't know, 500 Tren, then you're one hell of a bad boy, baby. Blood work at the start of cutting phase was great overall. My estradiol was 75 before adding Primo. Getting updated blood work in 1 week. What's a sensitive estradiol test called? It's called sensitive estradiol test using liquid chromatography tandem mass spectrometry, LCMS/MS. So, and then of course, well, if you're on Tren, that might detect as estradiol. So it's good that you're doing a sensitive test, because if the estradiol was 75 before getting on the Primo, it's probably 35 after adding that in. But even on 25 milligrams per Tren, your estradiol might be 100 or 150, you know, depending on how sensitive it is and when you did your shot compared to the blood work. Yeah, so it might be significantly higher. So yeah, it's good you're doing the sensitive testing. Let us know next week when you get the results back, or 2 weeks from now. Damn, it's worth. You just put like $40 of super chats, man. You could have got a membership. You got unlimited questions in. I might skip over some questions though, sometimes, because they'll knock you up. You know this. Is using topical finasteride, minoxidil pointless when running Primo or other DHT derivatives or steroids? Is it dose dependent? As in Primo goes up topically, less effective. So Primobolan is already a DHT derivative, and of course Primobolan, Trenbolone, Anavar, I mean, they're not hair safe. With finasteride, if you take that topically, the only thing that you're preventing the conversion of is testosterone into DADA testosterone, which is terrible for your hairline if you're susceptible to it. But well, luckily, I don't have that problem. But everybody's different in that sense. Maybe it's because I've been in a micronutrient sufficient state since I was 15, besides when I was traveling. I'm sure that helps. All the vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, magnesium, collagen for keratin production. I don't fucking know. I have to trim this every fucking 3 days. Cut my fingernails every 3 days. Must be the growth hormone also. Copious amounts of growth hormone. Fuck. So if you're susceptible to hair loss, it might be better to run minoxidil and ketoconazole. You know, ketoconazole in the morning, minoxidil in the evening, because a topical 5-alpha reductase inhibitor might not be as potent as a topical androgen receptor blocker, which will not only block testosterone, DADA testosterone, but also Primo, Trenbolone, Anavar, and everything else that you could be potentially taking. And then, of course, you know, you also stimulate blood flow with these shampoos, and then allegedly it would help with growth. We combine that with a little bit of Cialis, you know, open up the capillaries, tell them sartan, to get some more blood flow. And then everything is good, man. I wonder, like, icing your testicles works, right? I wonder if icing your scalp works. Now that I'm thinking about it, I mentioned this in the wide approved prohibited list, or a wide approved doping stack, like icing your nuts. It's all the good drugs are banned. HCG is banned, so it's very difficult to bring your testosterone levels up besides icing your nuts. So I wonder if icing your scalp would help if you combine it with minoxidil and Cialis. I don't know. Or maybe fractional laser therapy, right? That would also increase blood flow. Anyway, I've been following you for a while now. First time super chatting. Thank you for all your excellent content and information. Hey, man, I'll remember your name because it's $40 worth of super chats. And that it goes a long way for my taking my wife out to dinner fund. But you got one-upped by commissioned. He sends $100. And this actually hurts because I know 45% of that is going to YouTube, which is more than you would pay taxes in most countries. So, yeah. Well, it is what it is. Commissioned, you're a fucking legend, dude. Fitness, along with your videos, have saved my life. Thank you for all that you do. After watching tons of your content and reading your website, I'm still confused on when and how much berberine should be used. It seems the dosing changes based on if you're cutting. Yeah, berberine, I would only use when you had a large carbohydrate meal. So you could take berberine. Let's say you have a big refeed on Sunday with a boatload of carbs. Let's say it's 1,000 carbs. Then I would take 500 milligrams berberine before each meal of 100 to 150 grams of carbs. If you only have one meal in the evening, you have 500 milligrams berberine before and maybe 500 milligrams afterwards. All right? Or 500 milligrams berberine before and 500 to 1,000 milligrams metformin afterwards. You can combine them, and it's totally fine. But I will only do it. I would only take berberine in the context of having a high carbohydrate intake that's a little bit more than usual, where you need a little bit of a boost in insulin sensitivity. And keep in mind, the only way you can process and absorb high-dose carbohydrates is if you have large amounts of muscle mass. Now, we know that Commissions has a big fat wallet. $100 super chats. It's been a while since I got one of those. So if your muscle mass is as big as your donation capacity, then you probably don't need berberine because your muscles will just take it up. I do today. I had maybe 200 carbs, right, from pizza and some bread from the Italian place, and then I don't know, gnocchi, whatever the fuck this pasta is called, and then whatever sugar is, hidden in there. I mean, we're in Thailand; it's always hidden. And I didn't take berberine, but I did a 10-minute walk afterwards from the restaurant to the BTS station, sweating profusely, obviously, getting distension as we're walking was horrible. But this 10-minute walk keeps your blood glucose levels in range as well. So you don't even need berberine if you can do a little walk post-meal. I mean, 10-minute walks, so it's something that Stan Efferding popularized, has been shown to help with blood glucose levels and might be even as beneficial as metformin in certain, scientific studies. So take it when you need it, man. When you're cutting, you don't actually need insulin sensitizers unless, again, you're taking like a boatload of carbohydrates over the weekend to kind of load up, because you will lose insulin sensitivity a little bit later in the day. Because you're already insulin sensitive. When you take testosterone, it's been scientifically proven in the context of diabetes, testosterone improves insulin sensitivity. Activity improves insulin sensitivity. Carbohydrate reduction when you're cutting improves insulin sensitivity. So all the guys telling you take Slim pins or GDAs or that kind of stuff, just as long as you live the lifestyle, you do your daily fasted cardio, you don't eat too much, and you know how to cycle your carbohydrates, you don't need berberine. I take it once per week. I took it today. That's it. Or I take it today before bed, because I know I had some extra carbohydrates, and after this I'll probably have, 5 whole eggs on top of rice, because it's just the best meal ever, with some soy sauce and some ketchup and some salt and pepper. And then I'll have some berberine before bed. Easy peasy. All right, some member questions. Randy March asks, hey Steve, how much YK-11 would you say is a good entry dose to start on my next cycle? I want some recomp effects the first few weeks. Thanks for all. Honestly, I would only use YK-11 at the end of a cutting phase or at the end of a recomp. So at the end of the off season or at the end of a cutting phase, when you need a boost, because it makes you strong, it makes you hard, it makes you dense, and it helps you push past plateaus like you would otherwise expect with Anadrol and Superdrol. So I would not do it at the start. This is the mistake that I made. I took it at the start of the off season, and then after 7 weeks, I went from 240 to 262 pounds, which was a little bit too much. I got leaner also, because I got a little bit of the lower back and the ab garbage off that I accumulated in the United States. So I gained 20 pounds in 7 weeks, all muscle, lost a little bit of fat. I got hella fucking strong. I got hella fucking dense, to the point you get more out of breath than usual during strenuous sets, because the muscle is so tight. And this is with BPC 157 and TB 500 for angiogenesis and the blood pressure medication. Your muscle gets so tight, the blood flow is restricted. And the only place I noticed that is with Winstrol. So again, Winstrol you would only use at the end when you're either getting a little bit less stamina and strong, or you really have limited energy, so you have enough energy for the sets, like on Winstrol, for example. And YK-11, the effect is very similar, even though YK-11 didn't dry my joints out as much as a lower dose of Winstrol. With YK-11 during the set, you're fucking brutally strong. It's like violent. It's rape. Honestly, it's like when Monica Bellucci was raped in one of those. What is it called? What movie is that? French movie, I think, where she met her husband. It was the same. Well, long story short. Anyway, it was violent. It was horrible, brutal. During the set, it's crazy. And then afterwards, you can't fucking breathe, dude. You have to catch your breath. And I always noticed that with Winstrol or YK-11. Now, I don't think that my YK-11 was Winstrol, based on my lipids, because they didn't ruin, and my liver enzymes didn't really ruin either. And I didn't feel toxic like I usually do with Superdrol. So I feel that YK-11 is maybe a better drug than Superdrol or Winstrol at the end of a cutting or a bulking phase to really push you past the plateau. Now, the hardness, obviously, I can feel, right? This is hard as fuck. All my muscles were fucking dense and hard. But I don't know what the cosmetic effects are because, well, let's be honest, I'm fat. So how much of a cosmetic effect could you see? So I'll work on the YK-11 deep dive, let's say, in January. And then maybe I'll run injectable YK-11 for 4 weeks leading into the Arnold Classic while I'm also cutting and then see how much of a recomp and hardness and effect I get. Because I talked with Modern Aminos and Amino Asylum, and they assured me that their injectable YK-11 formulas don't contain any propylene glycol or ethyl oleate. It's just purely MCT and benzobenzoate and benzoalcohol based. So I'm willing to give that a shot, literally, and then see how the oral YK-11 compares to injectable YK-11. I'll do half the dose, 15 milligrams, compared to the oral dose of 30 milligrams, simply based on the dose of oral Winstrol and injectable Winstrol. I get a comparable effect if I half the dose on the injectables, and then take it from there. And then I might finish the deep dive after that, because you guys know me. If I do a deep dive, I do it well, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time. But for now, I can say that YK-11, I'm pleasantly surprised. Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. I would put it in B tier. B tier. So hopefully I can convince Kurt and Dean on the next Anabolic Roundtable. Zionic asks, I begin running SLU PP332, MOTC, Methylene Blue, along with BPC, methionine and acetylcholine blend with B6 and B12 and NE+. My stomach has been a little bit upset. Is it just cleansing, or will it subside? Along anything to ease the stomach pain? I would try to figure out what causes that. I mean, it could be the oral SLU, could be the Methylene Blue, the MOTC, the BPC, the MIG blend, NAD+, from my personal experience, doesn't make your stomach upset. So I would take the Methylene Blue out for a week, and then I would take the SLU out for a week. Maybe change sources after that if you pinpoint which of these orals are making your stomach upset, and then take it from there. I tried this already. This week I did like a couple days without any supplements, just food, and that didn't change a thing. So I think all the supplements that I take are perfectly fine, but maybe I need a full week of fasting to really reset it. And then carnivore. Just when you can't digest shit and you're bloated all the time, that's your body telling you, like, bro, enough. You either tear something, you get terrible blood work, which I didn't tear anything. My blood work was still acceptable. But if your digestion is ruined, or not ruined, but if everything just kind of sits there and it doesn't digest well, and you already tried everything, fluconazole to help with candida overgrowth, or oregano oil to help with the candida overgrowth, or BBC 157, KPV, LO37, and some antibiotics, and then repopulating your gut microbiome with a good of probiotic supplements and foods, and that doesn't help, then it's just time to call it quits, man. Henry Fum asked, I've been at it for 2 months after the US. The US destroyed my digestion. And if that happens again at the Arnold, then I don't think I'm going to go back there. I hate to say it, but if every time I go to the United States and I eat out a couple times and it destroys my digestion for a couple months, then it's not worth going back for me, man. Of course, I could cook all of my own meals, but it's hard. I can cook 3 meals per day and then go out with friends. I'd rather have them come here. Like I went out yesterday with Joel Hansen, the competitive eater. We went out for some sushi, and that set to my stomach perfectly, man. No bloating, no bullshit. Hey Steve, I'm 12 or over 12% body fat on a cut. Want to peak for occasion in half than 2 weeks. Think about tanking calories, up cardio, carb depletes, and a 1-day carb load before. I want to know if that's a good way. It's good without a pump, in a tank top, and also shirtless. Dude, you're over 12%. The only thing you could take is a diuretic. A hard cut of 2 weeks is just going to deplete your muscles and make you look flat. So in this case, don't expect too much. Get some favorable lighting and maybe use a diuretic, like a diazide, and that's it, man. That's all you can do, because you're not going to dramatically change your physique. Do a diet for 12 weeks, and then you don't need a diuretic. Joe Mac Truck, should Amino Asylum or Modern Amino stacks be injected SubQ, intramuscular, or IV? Thank you. You're killing it with this incredible content. My pleasure. It depends on what you inject, like BBC 157, growth hormone, TB500, insulin, IGF-1. Can all be done SubQ, unless you want the IGF-1 localized effect. You inject it intramuscularly. And you can do BBC 157, TB500 intramuscularly as well if you want the localized effect. GHK copper can be done intramuscularly for sight enhancement purposes, even though it burns like crazy and gonorrhea, it's child's play, compared to the burn that you get from GHK copper, allegedly. So I've heard. And IV, I would only do Well, NAD plus and glutathione aren't really IV, so I would not do any aminos IV unless you want to do a 2IU IV growth hormone serum test 5 minutes later to check the potency of your growth hormone. But that's about it. So yeah, most of it goes SubQ and IM, and that highly depends on what you're using. Dub Suppressor asks, hey Steve, always low sodium and high potassium, 4.7, so that's over the reference range. Creatine and EGFR are normal. I eat a shitload of salt. What could be the cause, and what markers should I check next? Okay, so you're checking this the day after eating a lot of sodium, so it could be that you're flushing all of that overnight, and you're flushing more sodium than potassium. So by the time you wake up, you're dehydrated. You flushed all your sodium, but the potassium is still there. And keep in mind, when they pierce the skin and the vein, and then they might go a little bit deeper because, well, we don't have any skin, right? We're not fat people where you have to like use a fucking interferometer and a telescope to look for the veins. Our veins are right on the surface, and sometimes the nurse goes in too deep and they puncture your muscle or your tendon, releasing a lot of potassium in the bloodstream, and that can give you a false high reading. So I've seen potassium of 5, 5.2. And it's just a one-off. They check it a day later, and it's normal again because they went in too deep. So make sure you go with an experienced nurse, not one of those butchers in the Canadian or European healthcare system. Those are fucking terrible. They're usually also fat and ugly. They don't give a shit. They just fucking jam it in, like that scene from Pulp Fiction, Do I have to stab her 3 times? No, just once, but the fucking adrenaline once. So this is how they draw blood from you. And then here in Thailand, you get a little cute Thai nurse. And she's like, yeah, we have 7 tubes. I said, I don't want the big needle where you change it all the time. Just give me 50 milliliters, draw it with, the smallest needle you can use. And they go in real slow. They draw it. You don't feel any wiggling. And then after, 5 minutes drawing 50 milliliters out, they transfer that to the vials. You have like a tiny little hole. Potassium levels perfectly in range. So, first step is not finding a butcher. And second, I know, it could be from the telbasartan or nebivolol. Can also increase potassium levels. And if you're worried, take it later in the day when you had a couple meals and are hydrated more, and see if that makes any difference. Morphix asks, hey Steve, I was on a deep cut like 1,400 calories for 8 weeks, and after this cut, I reached 80 kilos, 30% body fat, was using 4 IUs growth hormone alongside testosterone, masteron, then went to 2,200 calories and 7 IUs of growth hormone, gained 7 kilos in 10 days. Yeah, so that's the growth hormone and the calorie bump. I would go from 1,400 calories to 1,600 calories, 10% increase. So you added in, 800 calories? Might have been a little bit too much. I guess it's water. Is there a way to lose this water other than removing the GH? No, you just got to stay the course, and then eventually your body will normalize. And it means also no cheat meals for you for a while until your body normalizes. My body normalizes, but I slowly increased all the drugs and the food over 7 weeks. So slowly. You don't have to go from 4 to 7. You go from 4 to 5 or 4 to 6. You don't have to go from 1,400 calories to 2,200. You go from 1,400 to 1,600 to, 1,800 to 2,000 to 2,200. You can do that every week, man. If you're very consistent with your cardio and your training, you don't miss a beat, you don't miss meals, you always eat on the clock. You can make caloric adjustments every week, man. Small adjustments like that, it's totally fine. The Berberine asks, Mrs. running 5 milligrams Anavar, history of anorexia and struggling to gain weight through the fear of getting fat. Any advice on how to get through how hard it is to gain excess fat on cycle? She's on 3,000 calories, ripped, depressed, and dead to the world. She's eating 3,000 calories, and she's ripped. No problem eating carbs and protein in abundance, just can't get her head around fats anymore. Okay, so yeah, if you don't eat fats, then of course you're depressed. I would take her out to dinner where she can't control the macros. So yeah, have her eat 2 meals per day, and then in the evening you take her out for salmon and steak and I don't know, avocado meals, like Mexican food. That all has some trace fats in there. After a while, she'll feel a lot better. And if she can't get around her head, then you're gonna have a serious talk with her, because if she's anorexic and she's feared to get fat, then you tell her, listen, if you're afraid to get fat, then we can't have kids. Because you're not suitable to be a mother, because you're literally destroying your ovaries. So you're gonna have to make a hard choice, man, unless you're not interested in having kids. But how the fuck can you grow a kid in the womb without some healthy fats? So have the fucking talk, put the wife in the place. Sometimes had to be done, and tell her to eat some fucking fats. And otherwise you move on. It's that simple, man. It's that simple. There's plenty of other women on the planet. Personally, I wouldn't want to deal with that shit. You know, it's red flags. You see that early on. Then you don't marry those girls. But if you're already too late in the game, then I don't know. Give her fatty meat sources, man. If she's only eating carbs and protein and she can't eat fats, then I would not have kids with that woman, because the kids would come out fucking crooked. I did a lot of research on kids, man. So we discuss nutrition with my wife every single day because, well, she needs to stay on top of her nutrition because otherwise the baby's not going to grow up properly. Hey, Steve, my 8-year-old daughter sees you on TV and calls you Big Steve immediately. I hope you'll mute my video, man. Otherwise, she's going to be knowing exactly what you're doing, Adrian. Daddy, why are you on steroids? Do you see a difference between Pharma Primo and generic Primo? You mean Underground Lab Primo? In the beginning, I saw a huge difference, but now I have access to some good Underground Labs, and so the Billy Gus Primo is fine. I haven't used it myself, but from the people that I see here doing, let's say 700 Primo, 1,000 Primo per week on a contest prep, it looks pretty fucking good to me. It looks like real Primo to me. I would still run Pharma and Primo, but that's because I have it in my drug cabinet. So it's waiting for a rainy day. All right, finally through the questions. How far are we behind? Oh, we're only 30 minutes behind. Your thoughts on MK677 combined with retatrutide to control hunger? Would retatrutide be the answer to decreased hunger, or would they somehow work against each other? No, I think that would work fine, man. You have a growth hormone secretagogue working through the ghrelin receptor pathway, and then you blunt your appetite with GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon. And if you can keep your food under control that way, you would not ruin your insulin sensitivity. And it would actually be a good stack. I'm not against it. So give it a try, see how high your IGF-1 levels are, see how much of a body recomposition effect you have. I know retatrutide is expensive, so if you can save some money by switching to 30 milligrams MK677 and get an equivalent of 2 to 3 IU's, growth hormone out of it with good IGF-1 if you're young, then by all means go for it, man. I would rather do MK677 with retatrutide than MK677 with long-acting insulin. Mike Freeman, for those who've been here long enough, in the crypto volatility is a joke by now. You think Polkadot narrative will come back? I haven't looked at Polkadot, man. I only want it's Polkadot at the big 20. Let me see. I'd have to compare the USD chart to the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin's kind of hovering between pole. Like in all these projects, let's be honest, they're fucking shit, man. It's all useless. It's just a way to make money. What do you think about it? It's all the same shit. All right, so Polkadot is kind of trading in a range. 4-hour chart went up, at least on Binance, went up to the previous all-time high. It could come down. Let's see, what's the Fibonacci retracement? If it holds over, what is this? 700 Satoshis by the time it hits 13 December, then you could come in. What's the progress on the last move? 30%. You can make 30% anywhere, man, on your Bitcoin. You can make 30% on Doge. You can make 30% on XRP. You can make 30% on... and those have a lot more search results. So if you're interested in an altcoin, go to Google Trends. See what their search results are to the big 20. You can trade any fucking altcoin. It's just the one that bumps decently. And if don't get me wrong, like yesterday I was watching the charts and then Hedera broke out, and then I was like, put some money in, went up, retraced a little bit, took some profit at the 781, was it? Yeah, 786 Fibonacci, and then if it holds over 50%, then I might get back in. It's just the way to make money, man. Who the fuck cares about the practical applications of these projects? You know what you use on this phone? I got my credit card attached to Apple Pay. I tap and I pay. Is that available for cryptocurrency anywhere in the world? You got some Bitcoin ATMs in the United States. Can I buy a house with cryptocurrency? Maybe later on. The only practical application of cryptocurrency right now is buying drugs. That's the only general adopted. And everything else is just... So. And a store of value for a Bitcoin, you know, just like gold. And even then, the store of value can have 80% retracements, which is brutal. So you better learn how to fucking trade. Hey, Steve, read your answer. Could you elaborate on the effect of cardio on lipids? Should I worry about 2 weeks off cardio and lifting while keeping Anadrol 20 milligrams the same until you lift again? So if you do cardio, you basically speed up the utilization of low-density lipoprotein, because low-density lipoprotein obviously transports triglycerides and cholesterol through the body. And if you use your body more in a fasted state, then you would burn or utilize, absorb the LDL molecules, bring those levels down. Now, that doesn't mean that your HDL is really going to go up, but your total cholesterol, which is basically just the calculated value of your HDL and LDL, would come down as your LDL is coming down. So this is your lipids. Your lipids are, I don't know, HDL, LDL, apolipoprotein A, B, those are proteins. Those are not lipids. So the only thing you can really look into is triglycerides. That will bring your lipids down, obviously. Or will come down as you do cardio, because you utilize more triglycerides, especially if you use injectable carnitine before fasted cardio. So if your lipids don't budge on Anavar and you do cardio and injectable, injectable carnitine, and you wonder why your lipids are not budging, I would be happy with that. And if you're wondering if it's going to get worse if you take the cardio out and the carnitine out, then just take it out for 2 weeks, test again, and prove your hypothesis with blood work, you know. Benjamin Heights, Steve, 2,750 calories. After last 10% bump, lost weight, shall I increase more? For these kinds of questions, just contact me by email. This is not a place to ask these kind of questions, because, Benjamin, you know this, and I've told you several times now, just schedule a call or ask me by email, because if you're in the VIP package, then you don't have to use these vigorous Q&As. But I have to look into your scenario. I'd have to look into your progress pictures. I need to know your strength changes. And, you know, if Dex is 6.3 before and 6.5 now, then yes, I would say let's bump the calories up more. But like, this is, you're in the VIP package, so I need a little bit more time to review your scenario. So based on this text, I would say yes. But if I review your scenario, I might say no, right? So let me review your email, and then I'll get back to you. So based on this question, I would say yes. But that could be the wrong advice if you give me more information. Dubster Buster, according to the endocrine clinical protocol for adult growth hormone deficiency, growth hormone dosages should be increased only monthly to avoid reverse effects like water retention. Why is that? I don't know. I never looked into it. I don't know. It could be exactly like they said, only monthly to avoid side effects like water retention. So it seems that water retention after you've been on growth hormone for a while, you either get used to it or it gets less. And that warrants a dose increase. So if it's adult growth hormone deficiency, I mean, the maximum you would get prescribed is 3 IUs. That's about a replacement dose for adults. For kids, it could be substantially higher because their growth hormone levels are substantially higher and they need the IGF-1, right? But some kids don't produce enough IGF-1, like me and Chase Irons, even though my IGF-1 is pretty good now. So they go on Increlex IGF-1, right? So if the growth hormone, the megadosing, is causing too much side effects or doesn't result in a sufficient IGF-1 pulse from the liver and peripheral tissue, then they go on Increlex, depending on the country and how it's available. So yeah, maybe the endocrine medical system agrees with my practices. Start low, build your way up to minimize side effects. Imagine if I went from 0 to 1,500 milligrams steroids with a 20 IU's growth hormone after leg day and Increlex, and dude, I would fucking explode and melt. But I built it up slowly. That's why I was able to tolerate side effects. The only fucking reason why I'm stopping right now is because my digestion is not good. And yeah, is that the steroids or is that A month. Looking bloated. Voice is even different. Go fuck yourself. Ban. And while we're talking facts, your mom is a whore. I don't see what the point is of these kinds of comments, but, you know, if you want to get under my skin today, that's the way to do. It's a fucking off-season. Of course I'm going to look bloated. And your mom is always a whore. Never, it doesn't matter if it's off-season or cutting phase. Because she raised such a fucking scumbag like yourself. And if that pisses you off, you did it to yourself. Khalid Al-Hamzi, 100 AEDs. Holy moly. Let me do the conversion on that. Steve got upset. Didn't know your fucking place. $30. No, you guys are generous today. Must be all those cryptocurrency gains. I had to take painkillers and antibiotics post-surgery for 2 weeks. After that, I started my blast, microdose, Clen, MK677, Winstrol, and Anadrol, test Primo, Tren. My liver, ALT, AST, fucking high in 2 weeks only. Is this to be expected? No. But maybe the painkillers and the antibiotics also increase your liver enzymes. So I think you need to come off, cruise on 150 milligrams testosterone per week until you get these liver values under control, and maybe do an ultrasound on your liver or a fibroscan to see if there's any biliary obstruction. Maybe you're not excreting the LT and AST values properly, but you probably see that in your total bilirubin being sky fucking high also. You know, and some other values would be elevated. Homocysteine probably and ferritin probably be sky high as well. So when I see an ALT and AST over 200, I usually send people in for imaging to see what's going on. And right, if you have 2 weeks of surgery and then you start the entire stack, then maybe you should have waited a little bit longer and again, start somewhere with test and Primo and then add in stuff as you need it. Because personally, I would never start with a stack like that. I always start with test first, build my web, and maybe add in a little bit of growth hormone in a couple of weeks, and add this, add that. Okay, my stacks are absolutely crazy by the end of it, but I gave myself some time to kind of slowly build that up. And this is the reason why my liver enzymes are 50 to 80 at maximum, and yours are 300 to 1,000. So do some imaging, get yourself healthy, and then take some time off to kind of reassess what's going on, because it doesn't look good to me. Hey Steve, I've been taking 40 milligrams of Anavar and Anadrol, both together. I've noticed zero results or strength gains from either, and even though I've tried 3 different places, what could be the issue? Well, you're in Dubai. You know, not all brands are the same. A lot of the Dubai brands are actually sourced here in Thailand. So, dude, if you're on 40 milligrams Anavar and Anadrol, if you have zero results, you're either not training, you're either not eating, you either don't have a testosterone base, or you have shit genetics, or it's fake. But dude, if you take 40 milligrams Anavar and Anadrol per day and you sit at home, you would expect an effect. Get a lower back bump just from doing dishes. That's why I have a dishwasher. Yeah, 3 different prices. So you either don't know how to train, you either don't know how to eat, or your gear is fake, and just keep looking. 90% of the gear here in Thailand is all underdosed or bullshit or trash. So, you know, I've been looking far and wide for years until I met this Billy Gus brand, and I'm like, now I'm finally impressed with something. So I can disclose what I'm using in case other people will want to try the same thing. But I've tried all the brands here. Most of them are severely underdosed. I know people using Thai brand XYZ, 80 milligrams Anavar per day. Looks like they're running 10 milligrams depot, you know? It's underground, man. It's all crap. Good evening, Steve. All the best. All the best to you, Jesse. What's up? Steve, I'm coming to the end of my added Deca and VAR cycle. We keep tested 300 milligrams per week. Want to add in Tren. How long do I need to wait to start Tren after last start of Deca at 120 milligrams? Well, if it's only 120 milligrams, I would check your prolactin levels and then maybe let the Deca clear for about a month. Everybody's different. Like if you go to 50 milligrams of Tren per week, I don't think from 120 milligrams Deca to 50 milligrams Tren, as an example, or 25 milligrams Tren, I don't think that's going to be a problem. But if you're on like 500 Deca, that was what I was on, I would wait a month before adding in the Tren. But I combine Deca with Ment, no problem, dude. I'm honestly, this is the best cycle I've done for the off season. 500 test, 500 Deca, 150 Ment, 200 Anadrol per week, sometimes 50 milligrams more on strenuous leg days where I know I'm going to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum. So I might have had 300 milligrams Anadrol occasionally, some weeks where I was in the mood to like, today we're going to set some fucking PRs, Brad. 100 milligrams fucking Anadrol, sublingually pre-workout. Let's go. I'm in a really good mood these last couple of weeks. Yeah. Is it the food or the stack? It's probably both. Yeah, and I had copious amounts of sex because I'm not in a caloric deficit anymore. And I made a lot of money in crypto. That helps also, right? Got to be fucking honest, man. A lot of food, a lot of sex, and a lot of money puts you in a good mood 24/7. Does taking bupropion make tamoxifen not work? Bupropion is a beta blocker, right? Antidepressant. I don't know. Okay, so it's metabolized to the SubQ. You would have to look into the metabolic pathways, man. Is there a drug interaction with tamoxifen? Tamoxifen. I don't know. I haven't looked into that particular drug interaction, but if it inhibits some of the cytochrome P450 enzymes that would metabolize tamoxifen, it might make the tamoxifen more potent because you're literally preventing the breakdown. All right, it's metabolized by the CYP2B6. Drug interactions with 2B6 inhibitors are possible. Inducers, St. John's warts, 2D6. Yeah, I don't see anything mentioned here about tamoxifen, but maybe they didn't include it. So just see if it has to do with some cytochrome P450 enzyme inhibition or inducers, and then take it from there. But off the top of my head, I don't really know. See some spam here. Ban those users. Guys, I have no chill anymore. If you misbehave in the chat, you call me bloated, or you start spamming questions, you're just out of here. Because it's my fucking weekend, and I'm trying to enjoy myself, as many of you guys trying to enjoy yourself. So if you're trying to ruin that for everybody, then you're fired permanently. Respectfully, Steve, 20 pounds of that time is not muscle. That's impossible. Well, muscle memory. Your muscle memory, bro. Muscle fucking memory. I got leaner and bigger. And that's fine. If you don't believe me, that's totally fine. That's not what my physique says. And I used to be 255, 260 pounds in the past at a higher body fat level. So now I'm basically my biggest ever. And dude, you see how much progress, what is it, Mike the Badass, right? The German guy made. He also gained 60 pounds in a half a year. And how much progress Chase Irons made. So it just sounds that you lack imagination and lack a clear goal. Because I've seen this happen over and over again where people gained a fuckload of muscle and strength and high quality size. It just means you have no life. Because you don't miss meals, you don't miss injections, you don't miss workouts, you don't miss sleep. So yeah, maybe it will take you a decade to gain 20 pounds, but I can do it in 7 weeks, man. And dude, I could get up to 300 pounds if I keep going like this. It would not be a pretty 300 pounds, but growing for me is fucking easy. Getting lean is difficult. London, McKenna. Hey, Steve, on TRT, 120 milligrams per week and taking BBC 157, 1 milligrams per day since I had a bicep tendon surgery. Any other supplements and steroids to get back to normal quicker? Anavor, 20 milligrams per day. So we get this question every week. What is the tendon surgery recovery stack? 1 milligram BPC 157 per day. Split 500 micrograms morning and evening. 1 milligram TB 500 per day. Split 500 micrograms morning and evening because both of these have a short half-life. And if you want to extend the half-life and the potency and the duration of action, look at the dipeptidyl peptidase 4 inhibitors, which would otherwise, the dipeptidyl peptidase 4 enzymes would otherwise break these down. So if you take, what is it, Januvia? Or Januvia, is it Januvia? I always get these two confused. Yeah, sitagliptin, DPP4S. So if you take sitagliptin once or twice per day, let me see, what is the half-life? I'll discuss this all in the, I never remember because it's such a nuanced thing. I think it's a one time per day administration. Yeah, 50 to 100 milligrams once per day. You prevent the breakdown of TB500 and BPC157, making it significantly more potent. 20 grams of collagen type 1, 2, and 3 per day, twice per day, morning and evening. I don't care what the scientific evidence says about dietary collagen not helping with collagen synthesis. When you're on Anavar, that promotes collagen synthesis if you take 10 milligrams in the morning and 10 milligrams in the evening, and TRT, and BPC157, and TB500, and GHK copper, and growth hormone, and fuck, maybe even ecdystrone, terkestrone if you know, you like the scientific evidence. You're going to stimulate collagen synthesis more, and it would not hurt if you're already spending an arm and a leg to throw some collagen supplements at it. That's exactly what I'm going to do when I do the gyno surgery. I'm going to leverage all options, including silica and that kind of stuff. But Monday, you'll see that under the WADA-approved prohibited stack. I have an entire list on how to stimulate collagen synthesis with stuff that's not on the list. And then you throw the BPC157, the TB500, the growth hormone, the GHK copper, maybe a topical palmitate GHK to, you know, kind of help with the incision, and then Anavar at it, and you'll recover like Wolverine. Blue STI, is there any way to increase EGFR kidney function? Well, first, you shouldn't be checking your serum creatinine unless you check your serum creatinine versus your urine creatinine with a 24-hour urine collection test. Ask them if they can do a inulin clearance test over 24 hours. So they inject IV, I think, was it 1 gram inulin intravenously, and then you should clear that 100% over 24 hours. The E stands for estimated glomerular filtration rate. So if you based it on serum creatinine, when serum creatinine can go up from training, from abnormal muscle mass, from creatine monohydrate supplements, etc., then yes, it's going to be high, your serum creatinine, and then these calculations to give you your estimated glomerular filtration rate are just based on nothing. Check your cystatin C from serum. That should be in range, regardless of your muscle mass, but it's good if you're hydrated. Make sure that you drink at least 2 liters, half a gallon of water before going in for blood work, and do a 24-hour urine collection test. This is the way. You should know this stuff, man. You were part of the Facebook group, right? And I had a very extensive article in there, but I guess you forgot. Watch Snippert's video on steroids. Gone off the idea of now taking roids. Better stay healthy. Even my bench press sucks. Okay. Well, there's enough steroid users, so what's more, one or less? Joe, what's up? Shooting in. Tuner bot. All right. Thank you. Great catching up yesterday. Got some Creon today. So it's Creon 40,000. It has the lipase, amylase, and protease enzymes. That is a lifesaver. I took some yesterday, and I didn't have any digestive issues after we went out for sushi. But Joel was, well, let's not, I think he told me in confidence, but let's say he was not so hungry as I expected. So I think I ate like 75% of the meal that was presented, but I took care of 100% of the bill. So I think it's okay. Hoping for some vigorous digestion. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, man, take like 1 tablet. How much did you spend? Like 3,400, 3,200? I'm such an asshole, right? Every time I introduce something to the fitness space, like Mirabig Ron, dude, it's like $600. You can get it online for $50. Creon 40,000, dude, it's like $100. Retrotide, $150 or $125. IGF-1, 400, 700, wherever your source charges for you. So 5 amino, 1 MQ, MOTSI, it's all expensive. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry for all the expensive compounds that I introduce. But yeah, it's a lifesaver, man. Give it a try. I think you should take like 2 capsules, Creon 40,000 before an eating challenge. It will literally just vanish in your stomach. Turn it into a black hole. Black Cowboy Boogie. Hello, Steve. Just got some blood work. Test is over 1,500 nanograms per deciliter. I guess the arrow is pointing in the wrong direction. Estradiol sensitive, 142 picograms per milliliter. Holy moly, that's more than mine. Prolactin 16. Okay, so it's still good. Free testosterone 49. Any dosing suggestions to lower estradiol and prolactin? Well, prolactin is not terribly high, but it could come higher over time if your estradiol is that high. So daily subcutaneous or intramuscular administrations for testosterone, and add in an aromatase inhibitor. But I don't know your testosterone dose. So usually we base that on your testosterone dose. I would say, looking on your sensitive estradiol, that you might need 25 milligrams of aromatase Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You know, and then some calcium D-glucarate to kind of speed up the metabolism of these estradiol metabolites at 2,000 milligrams calcium D-glucarate per day. So you go to iHerb, links down below. Use my discount code DTV967, and then order some calcium D-glucarate from Source Naturals, and then run 3,000 milligrams per day to kind of help clear out the estrogen. And then around 25 milligrams of aromatase, assuming that your testosterone dose is over 200 milligrams per week. But if it's over 1,500 nanograms per deciliter, then like mine is over 3,500, but could be way higher. Logan Winright, did you say you're going to the UK? Where are you heading? So I'm going to Oxford tomorrow. There's a seminar with the Enhanced Games. Yeah, we discussed this at length with Dean at the Anabolic Roundtable, but then the WADA prohibited list or WADA approved doping stack video took so long. So my editor is now working on the podcast, but that will drop after the seminar, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm going to Oxford for 2 days, and then I'll probably fly home out of Birmingham, flying to Amsterdam. It takes an hour, 10 minutes. So yeah, we'll be just a quick in and out. Yeah. So I always tell the wife, and it takes way longer. Come on, you guys know. I had to make that joke, man. You guys know me. So yeah, quick in and out in Oxford, and I don't have time to meet up because it's a 2-day event, and for 2 days I'm fully booked. And Victoria Velkar and Dean St. Martin there, so there will be no meet and greets. Sorry. Any dosing suggestions to lower estradiol and prolactin? Okay, so that was 25 milligrams of aromatase 3 times per week. I would say for now. Adding in 10 milligrams of Winstrol to my testosterone GH cycle, do I need to adjust the Anadrol 50 milligrams dose? No, if that's working, then keep it in. I've combined Anadrol 50 milligrams with 10 milligrams of Winstrol to kind of help with the angioedema, and it would keep that combination would give me around full dry and hard. Yeah, so it's a good stack, man. The YouTube commercials are vicious lately. Hey, man. This fucking gyno surgery is not you're not gonna pay for itself, right? I get the drugs for free, the food is not free, and the gyno surgery definitely is not free. So, watch those ads, bro. Yeah, sorry. Yo, Steve, how can I get good results in Anadrol twice per week pre-workout and use letrozole? I get a ton of letrozole and use it. And twice I use the Anabol 50 milligrams pre-workout. I work out 4 times a week. Why would you use letrozole and Anadrol when Anadrol doesn't convert into estradiol? I do not compute. On the Anabol, yes, that converts into methyl estradiol, but Anadrol might interact with the estrogen receptor, but doesn't convert. If anything, the mistanolone might actually lower estradiol levels because it's a DHT derivative and could potentially have some estradiol lowering effects. So I took the DHT cream out. Obviously, it can go systemic and have some estradiol lowering effects. Maybe the Anadrol did that. Maybe the YK-11. Again, I couldn't find anything in scientific evidence besides DHT. But dude, when you apply maybe 200 to 300 milligrams DHT to your shaft, how much of that is going systemic? And if you inject like 300 milligrams of Primo, that's the much higher absorption rate. I should have checked my serum estradiol levels and serum DHT levels. Well, next time. Comment keeps getting removed. Yeah, it might be the spam filter. The spam filter is thick because people are jerks. And if you don't believe how much people can be jerks, again, go to that Kenny KO Instagram page, read the comments there, and then you realize how much people are fucking jerks. So I have to keep that spam filter in place, man. What's your dose protocol for YK-11? I stopped it last Monday. That was the end of the YK-11 experiment for 7 weeks. I ran 30 milligrams per day. In the beginning, I did 30 milligrams before bed sublingually, but I split it up 50 milligrams morning and evening. That's 5 milligrams sublingually. And that seemed to work quite well. Yeah. What a vigorous shirt. Dude, you must be new to the vigorous Q&A. This is like the Q&A shirt. Oh, and do your daily fasted cardio, kids. Yeah, that's right. All right, 100 R dollars. What is that? R dollars. Brazilian reals. Is that Brazilian reals? Rhodesian dollar. Currency of Rhodesia. Really? Huh. I don't know how much this is. Rhodesian. I wish I'd do the conversion automatically for you. Well, can't find it. But it's red, so I guess it's good. Eduardo. Master, yes. Master Yoda. Need a hack until end of the year to bump libido. It's crashed. Maybe low body fat's up 7%. Skin falls now. Head bloods again. 500K total testosterone. Hell fucking yeah. 25 estradiol. That's too low. Bring that up a bit. Bring it up to 50. It will improve. 5 SHBG. Watch the SHBG video to improve that. 600 test NT, 200 Primo, 25 Oxandrol, and 25 milligrams Winstrol injectable. 500 IOs HCG 3 times a week. Fats over 100 grams per day. Okay, so your 7% body fat, if you take the Primo and the Winstrol out, well, and the Oxandrol out, your SHBG will come up. I would increase the HCG to 1,000 IUs 3 times per week. If you're already eating 100 grams of fat, then your libido should be good. But maybe your total calories are too low. I mean, your 7% body fat, maybe you need to increase that to 10%, you know? I have to say it over and over again. When you're low body fat, your libido is just not going to be great. Regardless how good your blood work is, regardless how much oxytocin and PT1 for 1 and Cialis and money you make, right? If you're low calories and low body fat levels, your libido is just going to be shit. I've had the best libido for the last 7 weeks that I had for the last 3 years. And then with the penis pumping and everything, I mean, well, many a spring has been ruined in my bed. I'll tell you that. Good stuff. I actually have to be careful. Otherwise it destroy what's inside. Fragile, man. So yeah, maybe just eat more food, take all the DHT derivatives out, and increase the HCG a little bit. Let your estradiol come up to 50, then maybe use an aromatase inhibitor that's not crushing your SHBG. And maybe eat a little bit more fats. It just, you know, maybe you need a week off. Maybe you're severely overtrained. Polkadot has the largest amount of full-time developers after ETH. Less bull run, the numbers of development indicated project pumped hard, but dot narrative is non-existent at the moment, like Sol, for example. Yeah, so if it breaks trend, move some money in, and then if it starts pumping harder than other coins, move a little bit more money in after each retracement. But you never really know, right? I mean, like XRP and Cardano, I mean, they were kind of dead, and then they suddenly start pumping. So if it breaks trend and I see a hint of a pump, I'm going to move some money in. And then if it really starts pumping hard, and the Cardano and Ripple evaluation compared to Bitcoin is just shooting up, on the retracement, I'm going to put more money in, man. Like, I was all into Bitcoin. I expected an altcoin season from today, December 8th to 10th, you know, but those altcoins pumped. So yeah, you watch the charts. Once it starts pumping, you put a little bit of money, or it breaks the downward trend, right? Once it starts breaking, you put a little bit of money in. Give yourself some confidence, and then if it starts pumping and pumping, you put a little bit of money in. You just have to watch the charts, and then eventually the pump stops. Like with Tron, it was only 1 day, right? So I look at Tron. Tron pump had a little bit of news on, what is it called, Twitter, X. A little bit of news, went up, and then flatlined. Now, if it breaks that, I might be inclined to put some money in. But why would I put money into Tron now when it's not doing anything? All right? So it's the same with DOT, same with Solana. I would not buy Solana now. It's not doing anything. ETH, it looks like it's on the verge of breaking out. So I put a little bit of money in when it broke. It went to 0.031, give or take. I felt that that's the bottom, so I put a little bit of money in. Then it ran up, then it declined again, right? So you can just watch the Ether Bitcoin valuation. So I made 2 small trades there. But when ETH really breaks out, let's say when Bitcoin starts to top around February, I don't mind moving 50% of my Bitcoin into ETH, letting it run for a little bit until all-time high, and then I move 75% into other stuff later on, right? So you go from Bitcoin when it tops to ETH, and when ETH tops, you go into other altcoins. And now there's a couple nice trades to be made with Doge and XRP and Cardano, because they're clearly in a trend. You just buy at the bottom against Bitcoin and then sell at the top. All you have to do is draw the trend lines. It's so simple. I don't understand how people don't make money. Yeah, but I haven't looked at DOT because if I can move, if I'm already trading on Doge and XRP and Cardano and I put substantial money in there, then, I think my risk is already spread more than enough. But hey, man, if it breaks trend and it starts pumping, then I don't mind being in there for a couple of days to weeks. And if it makes me money, then whatever the project does or doesn't do, I don't give a shit. You get paid. Ryan Yates, hey Steve, I know test would work better, but I'm running a little bit of experiment. I'm trying to use HCG and Anavar cycle. Would this make sense? How would you make this as optimal as possible? Anything you would add? I would add in testosterone. But at least 325 milligrams HCG to replace your endogenous testosterone synthesis. 325 milligrams HCG Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I discussed this in the HCG deep dive. And then at least 10 milligrams Anavar. And then if you want to run 500 IUs HCG 3 times per week or 1,000 IUs HCG 3 times per week, you should get about 1,200 nanograms per deciliter on your total testosterone level. And then 20 milligrams Anavar per day. Run some Topical, run some NAC, do some blood work, take some pictures, fuck some bitches, and make it work, man. Because, Anavar makes you lean and dry. Your HCG will give you fucking raging boners. And if you're leaning dry and you got raging boners, then you better put that body to work, bro. I mean, this is a cycle that a 20-year-old will do, so you're probably like in your 20s. Like, adults don't do this cycle. This is what teenagers do, right? Or young 20-year-olds. So if you're young 20-year-olds, you're on the market, and you got a killer physique, then fucking slay all the bitches, and that's what you should be doing, man. Oh, now we're finally at the laughs from Steve Burning people. I have no chill anymore, man. I have no chill. I just got an entire week of people calling me 40 or 50 or 60-year-old and gonna die tomorrow. So if you bring that shit to my doorstep, I'm gonna take some sweet revenge. Can water detect recombinant FSH and recombinant LH on a drug test? Recombinant LH, yes, but recombinant FSH is not on the doping test. I've never seen anybody fail for recombinant LH, but not all the tests, the failed tests are public, right? Sometimes they keep that internal for privacy reasons, and then they just ban the athletes. So why are you not competing in the next 4 years? They got an injury. Actually, they failed the drug test, but they keep it internal. Can you use them and still pass the drug test within certain limits? So FSH you could use, but LH you can't. I discuss all of that on Monday. Timestamps will be there. Your mom is a whore. Doesn't matter if it's bull or bear market. Yeah, man. You gotta. That's what I noticed in the world. You gotta stop. Like, as soon as people just start giving you shit, you give them shit back, and you raise the stakes, you double it. And if they can't deal with it, then well, fuck it, man. 7 billion people on the planet. Don't have to be nice to all of them. How many weeks taking ACG does your body lower its own LH levels? 1 week. 1 week, dude. So not, how many weeks? It's in 1 week, it already gets lower. In 2 weeks, you could be shut down. So do you think Brad Gellington on 60 Minutes this Friday will be a good sell the news trade event on XRP? I don't know. If I see that XRP breaks trend compared to Bitcoin and the dollar chart, and Bitcoin is holding steady, then I'll sell. I got a stop loss. So if the stop loss it gets hit, which is above where I bought it, so that means I still make profit, then I get stopped out, and then I don't know, man. And usually they sell the news events, it just causes a liquidation wick. So if you get stopped out, you see a liquidation wick, and it goes right back up, like it did a couple days ago, then you get back in. You just got to watch the chart all the time. It sucks, but this is the next couple of months is where life-changing money is made. So if you're like, Steve, where's the videos, where's the deep dives? I'm making life-changing money, dude. That's more of a priority than making deep dives, which I can make at any point in time. These opportunities will only get once every 4 years. So 4 years ago, where were the videos? Steve was trading, man. He's looking at the chart, doing technical analysis every 5 hours per day, and then doing a little bit of work on the side, Guess where the money was made? On the chart, not on the YouTube channel. So Steve, where's the videos? Steve's making money. Sunday, not Friday. Okay, well, I'll check the chart tomorrow, but I'll be flying. So if I get stopped out on XRP and I see a liquidation wick, I might just put like a little buy order at where I think the liquidation wick goes based on all the, the potential liquidations in the order books. Then, if something happens, I might just buy in, 25% lower or 10% lower. And then a liquidation wick, it gets filled. And then if you want, you can just sell right away for 25% gains. Hey, Steve, shared you my resume last week regarding your assistant position, still looking to fill. If you didn't get an email from my assistant, that means you were not qualified. But he should have emailed everybody already. So we got about 75 applications. A lot of them were not really suitable, but that's okay. I'd appreciate everybody writing it in. But yeah, my assistant is working on it. I don't have the time. I have to look at the charts. This is why I get an assistant to help me with stuff that I don't have time for. And so I have an assistant to take care of that. So if you didn't get an email from him, it either means that I didn't, and there's no more applications now. We got more than enough applications. So the emails are removed. But my assistant should have contacted all of you, unless you were not suitable, but then he would still contact you. And if you already did the assignment that my assistant gave you, then, well, obviously it takes a couple times to filter. And if you're the kind of guy that sends me 5 emails like, hey, did you check my application? Did you check my application? Then you're automatically disqualified, because then I already know that the collaboration is not going to work. There was like one guy that sent me 12 emails, and I told him personally, I said, dude, you send me more emails than a Latina ex-girlfriend. So, no thanks. I already know that it's going to be a nightmare. Self-sufficient and patience. My editor, for example, I send him a notes file. He disappears for 3 days. And then I send him instructions. He disappears for 3 days. He presents me with a video that's 95% good. This is what I need. This is what I'm willing to pay for. But if you're going to send me emails every fucking day, multiple times per day, Steve, you want to come on my podcast to promote my coaching services? No, I need a research assistant. I'm not going to help you promote your coaching service. So, well, if you don't try, you'll get a no automatic. So a lot of people try nowadays. But, well, I get to choose who I work with. And everybody that I work with so far, I have no regrets. And I'm not going to change that. So, talk with my assistant. Can we do PCT without serums? Yeah, just wait. Just wait. It will take a year, but you will recover. And if you don't recover in a year, then, well, you go in TRT. I stopped taking orals and only kept 250 tests, 250 Primo, 100 Tren. My August blood work shot LT 4632, bilirubin 8.3. Bilirubin total 8.1, direct 3.4. I'm not sure if that's high. I don't get how shit skyrocketed this quick. The cycle that you were on was just trash. And again, maybe there was some biliary obstruction or a lot of enterohepatic recirculation. And so I would do ultrasound, Yeah. I would get diagnosed because the liver enzymes of 300 to 1,000, that sounds like a red flag to me. So I would get that fixed ASAP, man. I would not be online asking Vigor Steve. I would be in the hospital getting that diagnosed. Would taking 10 milligrams Anavar be enough to stimulate collagen synthesis post-surgery? Yeah, I mean, that's the close to the medical dose. So you're not utilizing it training. So I would do 20 milligrams Anavar. But yeah, 10 milligrams Anavar I think is enough. The medical dose is 20 milligrams for 4 weeks. And it usually gets the job done, unless you're a burn victim, and then it's like 200 milligrams per day for as long as you need. D-Brad, my B12 levels were above the reference range of 1500. Is this a cause for concern? No, it just means that you're supplementing with B12 as part of your B50 complex. If anything, it helps with methylation. Steve, since you're undergoing surgery in January, any PEDs users need to do differently before and after surgery to stay safe? Yeah, I would just take all the drugs out. If you're doing full anesthesia, I would only do TRT. So your blood pressure is normal, your metabolism is normal. I would take everything out that could alter metabolism of the anesthesia. Like, I don't need to do full anesthesia. I do localized anesthesia for the gynosurgery. But if I were to go full anesthesia, I would take the fluvoxamine out because it's a cytochrome P450 3A4 enzyme inhibitor, and it would make the anesthesia a lot more potent. And then they base it on your body weight, and then you metabolize it 50% slower. Guess what? You're not going to wake the fuck up. That's why they ask you a lot of questions before they put you under full anesthesia. And if you're a dumb bodybuilder that's not honest with what you're taking, then you might die. Right? So, but for this one, it's not a full anesthesia. So I prefer only to run tests. But of course, my test dose is going to be a little bit higher because it's only for 1 or 2 months. And the Nandrolone and the Tristelone, it's still long metabolism by the time. And I'm not against going back on Nandrolone and Tristelone again in March, and even doing that for my cutting cycle because my joints felt very lubricated. I felt very strong, and I'm not that water retentive. I think if I cut my calories down, I could just get lean on this cycle, even though you're a little bit more fluffy. If anything, it makes you more motivated. And then by the time you're 8% body fat, you make the switch from Test, Deca, Ment, and Anadrol. Well, you won't run Anadrol that long, but from all the water retentive drugs to Test, Primo, Tren, etc., Masteron, then you literally transform in 4 weeks as the Deca and Ment is metabolizing out and the DHT derivatives and the Trembolone is coming up. And then you mutate, and then you're not on these drugs that make you feel a little bit pissy and irritated. You're only using them for 4 to 6 weeks. So, then again, let's see how good I feel on Test, Deca, Ment when the calories are restricted. So, yeah, I would do TRT. TRT, look into every drug that could alter clotting factors. Check your clotting factors also, or clotting, or vitamin K, all that shit you need to look into. So I'll be off the fish oil for 2 weeks. I'll be off the vitamin E for 2 weeks because that can, it has blood thinning effects, and obviously that's not something you want. So, like, I realized that the surgery was coming up, and then, what's the point of pushing another week or two when you have to take all these supplements out and take the drugs out eventually? So I'm like, you know what? Cruising. And then we'll throw in the BPC 157 and the Anavar and the growth hormone as soon as I get back from the hospital. Yes. Have you ever IV GHRP6? No, why would I? No, man. Fragrance Man, I'm taking a low dose TRT, 140 milligrams per week. I have blood work coming up. I need testosterone to be around 500 nanograms per deciliter. 195 pounds, 24% body fat. Nothing can be out of range. Okay, so stop taking it and then check your levels in about a week of stopping your TRT. Could be 300 to 500 nanograms per deciliter. I think, honestly, if you stop it at 140, how can it be? Like 600 and 900? So if you miss 2 shots, then you're probably already 500 nanograms per deciliter. So, good stuff. One USD is 1 Brazilian, Steve. Brazilian reals. Ah, okay. So 600 divided by, or 100 divided by 6. It was $15. 100 divided by 6. It's late, bro. My brain doesn't work. $17. Nice. I appreciate it. Last week we got like $350 worth of super chats. Fucking good, dude. I said, did it go up more? Let me see. Analytics. Oh, 370. No subscribers, though. I'm a bit of an asshole, so I get it. Yeah, $370. That's pretty good. Let's see. Revenue. $200 super chats. Oh no, watch page is $200 and super chats was only 150, but that's because YouTube takes like 45 and 2 new memberships. Yeah, maybe the advertisers are coming back because it's end of the year and everybody needs to get those Christmas gifts in. Okay, Moose or Mouse, whatever. Adding 40 milligrams Anavar to my 500 test, 500 Primo, 150 NPP. It's a nice cycle. But started having severe bloating and digestion issues. Would the VARs sublingually help? Yeah, it could be. Maybe you're allergic to the binders or your Anavar or something else. So yeah, take it sublingually, see how that goes, and yeah, that's the bloating and digestion issues that it happens to me also, right? So you might have to do an elimination diet, you might have to do a stool examination, maybe do a endoscopy. Or is it called an endoscopy? Yeah, that's from the butt, right? I might have to do that also if I can't fix it. Yeah, sometimes you get setbacks, man. You try the most logical option. You tried it for a couple of weeks, and then it doesn't work. And you try the second most logical option. It doesn't work. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. And at one point, you're just at a loss for words, and you're like, well, I guess we're going to fast and do carnivore, and then do some resetting it that way. So yeah, but you're not at end stage yet. So yeah, take it sublingually. But even then, I got bloating and digestion issues. So could be a food thing that the Anavar is exacerbating, but then maybe taking it sublingually doesn't give you the same effect. What do you think of electronic muscle relaxer pads that you put in your body to relieve pain? And I remember when I was like 14, 15, and you go to the gym and your buddy's like, yeah, you got these pads and you put some gel and you can train your abs, and you just sit there watching TV and it's just contracting, right? Didn't give me abs whatsoever, and I used that for like 6 months straight. Maybe my body fat levels weren't low, but yeah, I mean, you could use it for recovery. I like those newbie machines. When I go to Las Vegas next time, I'll probably do a session of legs or chest on one of those newbie machines. I would like to give it a try. Like here, you don't have that in Thailand, so they have those those pads, and then you train, and it stimulates muscular contraction a little bit more, and I'm willing to give it a shot. Or electrical stimulation. See how it goes, but yeah, I don't know. For blood flow, maybe for recovery, maybe, but I haven't used those since I was 16. We do have crypto ATMs in LA. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. I know Mike ScriptCheck is doing the crypto ATMs. Figure Steve's into crypto. That's sick. Yeah, man, since 2015. That's how I became financially secure. I made contest bikinis because I had so much free time. So my wife was competing. Silly story, but you know, it's the fucking truth. So my wife was competing. She needed a contest prep bikini, and we checked online. There were like $1,500. We didn't have the money for that. So I was like, you know, I'll make you a bikini. I learned fucking handicraft in school. I'll make you a bikini. Made a bikini for her. She won the show. Everybody wanted a bikini, so I made more bikinis. Yeah, so in between clients and personal training and you know, reselling supplements from iHerb, I just spent gluing, and it was basically you make minimum wage. But that if I can't get more clients from personal training or bodybuilding, or I see opportunity to make an extra $200, $300 or $500, then of course I'm going to take it. But I had the time, but I didn't need that extra money, so I put all that money into crypto. And then after the first bull run in 2017. I didn't have to worry about money again, you know, but my standards were pretty low back then. Now I would be worried about that with, you know, a house and family and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, back then I couldn't believe it. So yeah, that's how I became financially secure, man. I made bikinis. I sold them all over Asia. And then I put that into crypto. And then I watched the chart go up all the way to 1950. I'm like, yeah, this 20,000. I didn't know shit about technical analysis. I just had a hunch. So I sold all my crypto almost at top in 19,500 because I felt that 20,000 was, you know, kind of high. And then, yeah, then I lost a good amount trading on the way down, obviously. But yeah, I was still financially secure enough not to have to worry about money. But now I would be worried about that savings with more bills to pay and staff and that kind of stuff. Back then, I was like, holy moly. Holy moly. Does tamoxifen increase LH and FSH when using also testosterone? No. No. And clomiphene might when you're using TRT, but even then, the LH and FSH will never be as high as when you use it without exogenous testosterone. Alvaro, 75 applications for the resuscitation position is crazy. I mentioned around 60% were not suitable anymore. 20% won't do the assignment. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people drop off, right? Or people ask for like $10,000. I'm like, you're basically getting a free education. So I'm 40 years old. Here are my qualifications. And I need $10,000 because I have a mortgage. You're not really what I'm looking for. Alvaro is a candidate. Let me know how that's going for you. I might still be able to hire you full-time in another capacity, but let's discuss that on Instagram, buddy. Good things are coming next year. Wanted to show my appreciation. I'll take those 10 euros and spend it on fucking, not weed, but I'm going to Holland next week. This is where they accept euros. And I'll spend it on something good, Andreas. You know I will. You can get two $5 shakes for that. Even though a $5 shake is like $7 nowadays. A lot of Pulp Fiction references today. Thoughts on tutor test, 100 Primo for TRT plus protocol in -40s. Good blood work, currently 170 test only, currently dosing daily. Go for it, man. If your blood work is good on 170, I'm sure your blood work will be good on 200 tests and 100 Primo. And I know that in 3 months from now, you'll be on 200 tests and 200 Primo with just as good blood work. Although your HDL and SHBG might be a little bit lower. But then you're in a real legitimate TRT plus protocol where you can get nice hot chicks half your age if you can deal with the mental fucking retardation of that generation. But you should look pretty good. Right? So you either get a sports car and some nice 25-year-old chick if you can deal with the bullshit. And then, give a couple pumps for Uncle Steve. Or Daddy Steve. That's better. What do you think of Brian Johnson going for myostatin gene therapy? I mean, it doesn't look like it worked. Doesn't look any bigger than me. The YK-11, I mean, put some fucking size on me. So why spend all this money for expensive myostatin gene therapy where you can take some YK-11 or follistatin 344. I shot some today. Man, it set my resting heart rate up quite a bit. But my legs were pumped beyond belief. So I put IGF-1 on the side because I still had some IGF-1 left. And then I put 500 micrograms of follistatin 344 for moderate aminos at the top. And then I went to Tren Ace today. Maybe that's why I look so haggard. And then I was screaming up a storm. And every rep, my legs are like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Like you use a bathmate, right? Every pump, your cock is like, whoop, whoop, whoop. And this gets bigger, and you look down and you're like, what the fuck is going on? It looks like old hentai from the 80s. Tentacle porn. The injectable follistatin I did today, and that was something else. Yeah, I got a couple vials. So let me see if that's something worth running in February. But not I ran. That was the last experiment that I did. It was just screaming at me. It's like, okay, I just finished the YK-11. I stopped it for a week. Let's see what one shot of follistatin 344 does. And I'm impressed. I couldn't walk afterwards. It feels kind of tender now. Oh. Ooh. Well, let's see how far we are. All right, I'm going to do a little bathroom break right quick. Break, be right back, and then we're going to go for another hour. Yeah, for all the people that I talked to that did follistatin gene therapy, their results were lackluster. Even though the ACE 083, when I did that video about it, does look very promising. But if maybe I can run like an experiment, like $80,000 a month for the price you're finding, because you have to run 240 milligrams every 3 weeks. And based on the gray area peptide websites, you would have to inject and reconstitute 1 milligram vials 240 times. It's not practical. All right, I'll be right back, guys. All right, and we're back. Let me see. Let's see, where are we? Yeah, this guy. We're also gonna blend. Keep spamming. Where's Iron Grit? I got him, guys. I caught him. He's like, actually, you would want to do this, but in reality, you wanna. And then when you punch somebody, you have to punch them like 2 or 3 inches besides where you want to hit, so you get that. A man can dream. Omar the coach, have you heard of guys getting chest pain for a couple days after taking an aromatase inhibitor? Blood work and heart scans are clean. No, never heard of that. So I don't know what could cause that, because only a couple days. How much of a reduction of estradiol would you be able to get? This depletes taurine or ubiquinol level. So I don't know. If you see a correlation between that, then don't take that particular aromatase inhibitor and move on. I got angina from high dose Anavar, 50 milligrams per day. Just feel it contract, you know. You're like, doesn't feel good. Splitting 5-amino-1-MQ, 150 milligrams 3 times per day. So it's 50 milligrams 3 times. Other 2 doses still effective taken later in the day with food. Yeah, I mean, it's better to take on an empty stomach. Medications you take on an empty stomach, and or these kinds of compounds, and then minerals and vitamins you take with meals, because meals have minerals and vitamins. So if you take minerals and vitamins in supplemental form, you take it with meals to slow the digestion and improve the absorption, even though zinc technically is better to take on an empty stomach. But yeah, I would take it on an empty stomach, but I think the half-life is pretty long, or sufficient enough for an N-methyltransferase. No, not, yeah, N-methyl. No, that's something else. Nicotinamide N-methyltransferase, that's the one? Fuck, what is it? What is it again? N. NNMT, right? Nicotinamide N-methyltransferase. Yeah. Okay, I was not that far off. It's been a while. I think you get sufficient nicotinamide N-methyltransferase inhibition if you space it out twice per day or 3 times per day. Yeah, my bad. Did you continue the bathmate study? Any results? Yeah, gain about an inch, give or take. I will send out an email to the people who participated, because then I can collect some data. But some people started later, right? So I will announce at the end of December. I wanted to get this done before Christmas, but I just don't have the time. I have so much stuff to do. So I'll send out an email sometime next week when I come back from the UK for people to send me their results, and then I'll announce it sometime around Christmas or New Year when we do another vigorous Q&A for all the people who read the article and did the bathmate study to send me their results, and then I can pull everything together to see how much. Which compounds worked, which didn't. Like, was the DHT super effective? Was the addition for BBC and TB500 very effective? I did the full protocol. I spent a lot of money on it. So I did 1 month of pumping 3 times per week and 1 month of pumping basically every day, unless I forgot. So let's say 5 times per week, 6 times per week. Like, I would skip on Saturday. I'm too busy, you know, with the... And, of course, you don't want to pump before you have the vigorous Q&A, because then you literally have to point your legs like that, and that doesn't sit very comfortable in this chair. So I will do it maybe 5-6 times per week, as many times as I could, 20 minutes long, with all the, you know, the correct drugs applied. And I get about an inch girth, inch length, which is okay. I wouldn't say it's worth the money. And it's after pumping. So, you know, compared to pumping before, and then after, like 2 months later, then you pump, and then the last it's about an inch length in girth. It's okay. I'm not gonna fucking club anybody to death with it, but it's significantly meatier. And would that? Does my wife? I mean, my wife said she prefers it without the pump. So, like, after pump, she's like, "Yeah, this is not for Asian vaginas. It's too much." So, but it does look significantly bigger if I just get a regular erection. So, It does look uglier though. It does look like, I don't know. I guess yeah. I like my cock before, but it's okay. It was a fun experiment. And again, I'm married, so it does it. I don't have to deal with like my wife is still pretty lean. She's not big, so I don't have to deal with the big fat Brazilian booty bitches in the United States or South America, where you need 3 extra inches to get the job done because their butts are so big. And I never fucked fat bitches, man. I never fucked fat chicks. Get in shape first. Right? Just do like what the women do, man. They treat their pussy as a weapon. And as a man, you can do the same thing. So if you're not hot, not worthy of the D, man. And not, in my opinion, fat women are not hot. Like these fat asses, it's where it's all jiggly and stuff. Ugh. Ew, nasty. So yeah, it's like 1% of the population is left. But for me, it's 0% because I'm too married for 10 years already. Do you reckon using a bathmate with the pump would also work without water? From a physical perspective, there shouldn't be much of a difference. I always use lukewarm water. Yeah, after the DHT cream was properly absorbed and I already had, a boner for a bit. No, I didn't try it without water pumping. But some people say that it's better. I don't know. So many experiments to run. Amazing content as usual. Well, I'm not sure about these Q&As, but the deep dives are good content. Yeah. When does the White video drop? Monday. It's ready. Thumbnails is there. Thumbnails there. Only the timestamps need to come, but my editor will do that. Orlando Bloom Jr. Hey, Steve. I would like to apply DHT to my penile once per week. Would that still be beneficial for PE gains and minimize hair loss while applying RU5844? Well, it's a topical anti-androgen. So yeah, that would work. I mean, I got some, I think I got half a centimeter from the DHT cream alone when I applied that before bed for about a month. I have a video on that. It has a cucumber or courgette with the toothpaste applied, the innuendo galore. It's no pumping required. And this time I did the full Monty, and I went from half a centimeter gain in length and girth, give or take, to an inch. After pumping, and then 2 months later after pumping again. So that's in pumped state. I haven't really compared the unpumped erection state to the unpumped now states, but it could be like, I don't know, almost an inch, give or take. But of course, after pumping, it's significantly larger to the point it just looks stupid. They're like, what the fuck is this? You wake up and your arm is like numb, you don't feel it. You're like, what the fuck is that? So that's what it feels like after pumping. It's like this meaty fucking appendix that you would always see in some sort of horror movie. And you're like, not sure if this is what I want for the rest of my life. And my wife's just shaking her head. She's like, what the fuck is that? She's like, you must, I don't know what kind of women enjoy that kind of size, but it's not going to be me. So yeah, everybody's different, man. I got some reports in from guys that gained like 2 inches. Like, holy shit. I didn't ask for pictures. I don't want to see that. So we're all in the honor system here, and when it comes to PP or penis enlargement, how many guys are on the honor system and just try to inflate their ego with statistics? You never really know, right? I mean, it's an insecurity for everybody, but at this point, I only have to share my penis with one person, and she says that it's too beaucoup. If you give me a mod status, I'll ban people for free. I thought you're already mod status. Let me see. Let me go to the Q&A here. Alvaro JD. Put user in timeout. No. Where is it? Pin. Add as a moderator. Managing moderator. Don't abuse your powers, Alvaro. Alvaro JD is now managing moderator. All right. Destroy these fools. How speech, freedom of speech. How much estradiol reduction on 100 to 200 milligrams Primo weekly? It kind of depends on how much testosterone you're using. So, I don't know. If you're using 100 tests with 100 Primo, you get a 50% reduction. And if you're using 100 tests with 200 Primo, then you probably get 75% reduction. But if you use 500 tests and 200 Primo, then you might get only 12.5% reduction or 20% reduction, right? I mean, everybody's different, so it's hard to predict. I found that a 1-to-1 ratio usually works, but then the hardcore bodybuilders, which are shredded year-round, they said that it's too much. They need 500 tests and 250 Primo, or 500 tests and 500 Primo plus 8 CG to keep their estradiol levels in range, or 500 tests, 500 tests, 500 Primo, 500 IOS 8 CG 3 times per week, and then 100 milligrams or 150 milligrams NPP, or 200 milligrams Deca for normal estradiol levels. Right? All these little variables contribute, so that's why we do blood work every month. I guess I'll send a comment via IG. Having good success with your guidance. All right, let me see. Yeah, some of these words are, 100,000. 100,000 for the third time, third attempt. Let's go. Let's go, bro. What is your username on Instagram? Oh, here, same picture. Hey, Coach, good to see you again. Making progress with SLU, Helios, Clen, Carved, Methylene Blue, Motzi, Testosterone Cypionate, Injectable Carnitine, GW1516, T4, about to add in Winstrol and Tren to finish this year. Daily fasted cardio. Okay, go for it. Go for it, man. Tim, go for it. I mean, if all the dosages are moderate, like I always explain, like Helios, maybe 20 micrograms, half a cc, 20 micrograms of Clen, 2 milligrams of Yohimbine. Clen, you could do, maybe you replace that for Mirabicron. Carved, just like carnitine and methionine and acetylcholine blend for moderate aminos. Methylene Blue, low dose, 5 to 10 milligrams. Motzi, 1 milligram per day. Testosterone cypionate, whatever you can tolerate. Injectable carnitine, you don't need to use because you're already taking Carved, which has carnitine in it. GW, 10 milligrams once or twice per day before fasted cardio, before the workout. 50 micrograms to 100 micrograms T4, even though in this stack you don't need it because you don't take growth hormone, which speeds up thyroid conversion from T4 into T3. So in this context, you probably don't need it. Maybe you can look into 25 to 100 micrograms or GC1, salbutamol, but I think the one from moderate aminos are 100 milligrams or 100 micrograms. It's a little bit high to start. So maybe take the liquid version from Amino Asylum, and then if 100 micrograms tolerable, then you switch to the tablet version. Because the liquid versions are a little bit annoying to use, and it tastes horrendous. Let's see, adding in the Winstrol Tren to start or to finish. Go for it, man. Looks good to me. Best DADA dose to take and when? Before fasted cardio? Well, do you need a stamina boost during the cardio session? I would only take it before leg day or a strenuous day. So my chest day is pretty intense, but it's not as intense as my leg day. And then DADA basically enhances your stamina and endurance. So if you're like me and you do on a ketogenic diet where you're still eating low carbs, maybe 100 grams per day, but you still do 12 rep sets, very slow, 4-second negatives, 1 second in the hole, and then an explosive positive, which is not really explosive because it's so heavy that you still need 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds to finish the rep and really squeeze. So we're talking about, let's say, 4 to 6, 7 seconds per rep, and then you do 10 to 12 of those. Yeah, man, 100 milligrams DADA for sure. 50 milligrams in chest day. I am not super strong, so, but the time under tension is brutal. So you take 40 kilo dumbbells all the way down, 2 seconds in the hole, explode it up, to the point it really goes, and your scapula goes forward, your shoulder goes forward. And then you do that again for 12 reps. And then you might get 9 full reps and 3 partials, to the point you're just, after a while, 50 milligrams is enough, man, or at least in my opinion. But then again, I take all these ATP synthesis enhancers like Methylene Blue and MOTC and SLUPP332, which all help with mitochondrial function. So if you don't take those, you might need 100 to 200 milligrams DADA. But if you do take those, then 50 milligrams to 100 milligrams is enough. And I started with 25 milligrams to kind of test the waters. And I already got a good result from that. So again, training intensity, your stack, your experience, your rep ranges. But I would do my fasted cardio to burn fat and not recycle ATP, so your fat burning session is basically minimized. Like I would not combine DADA with carnitine, for example, or cardarine, because you're recycling ATP from carbohydrates, so you stay fuller. But if you're recycling ATP, then obviously it's not going to be much of a fat burning event. So why would you take cardarine? Of course, I take carnitine. That helps a lot with stamina, fatty acid oxidation. But if you take DADA, basically you turn your workout session less into a fat burning event because you're recycling ATP, which would otherwise come from your body fat, right, through the ATP synthesis. So, yeah, hope it makes sense. I did a poor job explaining that one. Are you running any pre-workout blends from Modern Aminos? I take. I took some Amino Asylum. What is it called? Stampede, and the Monster Pump blend. Those ones I took occasionally, but then again, you do your Increlex shots. Right, it's already 2 shots bilaterally, and then on top of that, you already do your injectable pre-workout. And I like injectable pre-workouts more when I'm cutting because I don't really get a pump. But right now, my pump is stupid, with the YK-11 and the Anadrol and the high calories. My chest is already like full to the point you have boobas. It's like just swells up, and it's tight. Like this shirt's tight as fuck, even though it's already bigger size than the previous shirts we were wearing. So no, I've not used so much injectable pre-workout from Modern Aminos or Amino Asylum because I don't really need it. But sometimes you feel naughty, and then you're like, you know what, half a cc Stampede or half a cc Monster Pump on top of the Increlex and 50 milligrams Anadrol. And then, does it do anything for fat loss or muscle building? Probably not. But it is pretty brutal for pumps, and that's mega pumps is good. Just got carved in the mail half an hour ago. Cheers, Aaron's recommended. Yeah, I recommend it too. I already got my carved in, and it's quite good. It's quite good. Hair safe bath mate protocol. Don't use DHT cream. You can't have it all, guys. You can't have a big dick and hair and no gyno and no acne. It's unless you do a Brian Johnson protocol where you're just trying to look good the whole day and you don't have time for anything else. But that's what the shallow women do. Leave those protocols for the shallow women where they spend 2 hours on hair and then an hour on makeup and then another hour on nails and then another hour on their outfit. And then, you want to go out to dinner and you're like slowly sitting there for 4 hours waiting until she's done. And then by the time she's done, you're so hungry that you don't even want to go to the restaurant. You're just fucking annoyed. Swear word, insert derogatory swear word. I'm so hungry. It took you 4 hours to get ready, and then they're all dolled up to get all the attention. But all you just want to do is have a good meal and have a conversation in a nice setting. You didn't need to put all that effort. It's not a wedding. We're not going to a fucking reunion. For the reunions and the wedding, sure. 4 hour makeup, making sure they look pretty, but for dinner, no. My wife spends fucking 10 minutes on makeup, she slaps on a nice outfit, and then we're ready to go, which is about as much time as I need to shave my balls and my ass crack, because, well, if it's weekend, then you know what's going to happen, and I gotta be fresh for the action. I don't know how we got to this point, but blame the caloric surplus. Pessimistic profit, test, 350 milligrams per week. Injectable or injected every day. I thought you have injectable erectile dysfunction. And the date is 1100 nanograms per deciliter. Okay, good. Horrific 3 to 5 days PIP SubQ and intramuscular test SIP SubQ only 1370 nanograms per deciliter low PIP. Homebrew and GSO MCT is PIP. Suggestions. Keep switching brands until I mean, I have a source list for the shit. So keep switching brands until you find a brand that gives you high levels and no post-injection pain. There's hundreds of brands out there, and you buy more of the brand that doesn't give you any issues. And if you homebrew, then, well, I don't know anything about homebrewing, but keep fine-tuning your homebrewing until it works for you. Have feet grown from growth hormone use over the years? I think I went from an 11 to 11.5 or 10.5 to 11.5. Now my shoes are a little bit tight, but I only stopped the growth hormone. So I have like shoes that I can't fit right now, but now that the growth hormone is out, I could fit certain shoes again. I don't have any shoes that I don't fit, but then again, my shoes don't really last that long. So no, I'm all 11.5. I got a few 12s, but they're a little bit tight. And I think I've been anywhere between an 11 and a 12 for the last couple of years. So even though I did do high dosages of growth hormone and I got some water retention on my feet, I can't say that my feet have grown. My hands are still the exact same size. My face obviously gets bigger, but then it gets smaller again when I get off cycle. So I don't know how much growth hormone you need to abuse for really acromegaly to set in, but it doesn't seem to happen for me. Unless you have to listen to general population, then I look old as balls. So, Steve, how long do you usually do 50 milligrams Anadrol pre-workout? Do you cycle on and off pretty often? I just take it for as long as I want, and then I cycle off. So sometimes it's 2 weeks, sometimes it's 4 weeks. This case, it was 7 weeks because I was making so many gains. And I think that's the longest I've ever taken Anadrol. I think so. I think this was the longest cycle. My liver enzymes were not that bad. Then again, it's Deca with every meal, so, eating healthy, no alcohol. All these little things help. Take it as long as you can afford. Just made my first ban. Hell yeah. Well, don't go on a banning spree. Chase is in the house. Chase. Great live stream yesterday, man. I really wish you success with your gym. I sent you some suggestions, right, by WhatsApp. And I got to send you a thank you, by the way, for the Amino moderate aminos hookup, because I can't remember the last time that somebody put so much money in my pocket on affiliate sales. So publicly from myself, Figure Steve, to Chase Irons, thank you very much. Yeah, but I'll send you a message privately to give you the details. But it's been a long time since somebody put that much money in my pocket. So I guess I owe you a dinner. Yeah. I guess I owe you a dinner. It's been crazy. The support that me and Chase get from the community, it's absolutely insane. It's life-changing, honestly. And Chase is killing it with his gym and his quarantine sales, and he's doing some GLP-1 and retrotrutide and that kind of stuff. So he's got his own little peptide side hustle, right? So by all means, man, go for it. He's got a good amount of affiliates now, which I'm also happy to see. I mean, Paul and Kurt and all those guys that need some affiliates also. Like I always hammer into you guys, like you can't just rely on coaching money. You got to get some affiliates, but man, the Modern Aminos affiliates with the support of Chase and you guys purchasing, I mean, it's been good. It's been very good. Have you got your fasting protocol for digestion posted on YouTube? Yeah, there's a couple of videos about fasting, but I'll do it again this time. But this time, when I fast, I won't take anything. I might take some liraglutide. It's fast-acting GLP-1. It's a little bit old school. But retroglutide takes too long to set in. So I might take like 1.2 milligrams liraglutide for like 5 days, 6 days, however long the fast is going to be. And that's it. No supplements, no vitamins, no fat burners, no nothing. Just nothing in my stomach besides water, coffee. That's it. No. I just want nothing in my intestinal tract. Nothing. But before, I would maybe do some vegetables to kind of help with the detoxification, get some fiber in, and then take all the fat burners under the sun to help with fat loss. And so you don't lose any muscle fullness. You just fucking every day you wake up and you're like, oh, this fat is gone, lower back is in, lower chest is gone. It's yeah, the fat, not the muscle, obviously. And then yeah, I've done all kinds of protocol, but just type in fasting on my YouTube channel, you will be able to get something cool. Fasted trigger finger in the chat. 8 inches. Yeah, it's enough, man. 8-inch doomstick. All right. Steve, what do you think about Test E from the Iranian company Berberine? That's the first testosterone I ever used at 1 ampule per week, and I had great gains. My first cycle is on the YouTube channel, and I have an article on my website. Yeah, man, good stuff. The problem is there's a lot of fakes out there. So if you get 0.8 milliliters out of your Berberine, or you get horrible inflammation or low blood work results, then yeah, trust your source. That's what I would say. Hey, Steve, AP has Mirabegron. Yeah, well, who do you think is the one that told him to get it? I was like, bro, 24hourreap.biz. I sent an email, said, put fucking Mirabegron on your source list. And I called AP to put Mirabegron on their list. And they got it on their list, and it's pretty affordable. So get your Mirabegron. I think one of those online Indian pharmacies has it as well. But the shipping takes forever. Of RJD, careful, buddy. With great power comes great responsibility. Yeah. Oh, hopefully he doesn't ban me. I'll never ban the head that feeds you. Thank you for finding my IG message coming off T3, so added in T4 for thyroid support. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Help with the conversion as TSH levels come up. Yeah, okay, that's okay. Thank you for everything. Safe travels tomorrow. Thank you. Doomstick, yeah. Finally, we ended up at the end. It only took 2 hours. I can breathe. Oh, look at these fucking guns. Always looks the same on camera, but all the so I'm going to the UK, right? I'm going to the UK, and I'm like, okay, do I have some sweaters? Because it's fucking cold over there, and Holland is even colder, I think. So I'm going through all my sweaters. Nothing fits. Nothing fits. I have a jacket. I couldn't even close the zipper. I have like tailored jeans. My quads don't fit. Like everything is too small. So I might have to go to, I don't know, whatever. I have some clothes that fit. I just bought a new pair. I made a suit also. It looks silly as I'll show you a picture when I'm actually there. So I have a couple shirts that fit, but I'll probably be freezing my ass off, man. I'll probably have to buy something there because I tried to shop for shirts and stuff, but in Thailand it only goes up to XL, right? And that's too small. I need 2XL. And for a jacket, probably 3XL, which looks silly as hell because it's for tall people, right? So, yeah, I might just go to the secondhand shop in Holland as soon as I arrive and just quickly buy some fucking pants and fat people pants, and then I'll probably look like a complete hobo. Don't take any pictures of me if you see me, but I need some sort of clothes to survive because it's going to be cold. Get one of those 90s puff jackets that made a comeback recently. Can you imagine? If I get a white one and then like a little fucking little hat, sailor hat, I can look like a marshmallow man. Stay puffed, bro. I'll just go to the secondhand shop and buy whatever. And I'll ask my mom to return it. It's free of charge. Have you tried clothes from the Legend London line? Interesting enough, London-based. Yeah, I won't be able to pass London. I'll fly into Birmingham and then go to Oxford. So I'll see, man. I probably don't have any time to do any shopping in the UK. Oxford looks nice, though. Yeah, looks like a nice little city. I'll definitely go out to dinner with Dean and Victoria Falcor, and then we'll probably swing by Birmingham for some gym session. But Birmingham Airport apparently is terrible, so we don't spend too much time in Birmingham because I have to fly out from there. So let's see. Hey Steve, congrats on the crypto gains. I'm a rock climber and there's zero experience shared on gear in our community. Outside of Testinvar, anything you would recommend for strong and joints of steel? So, of course, you're doing like this grappling, right? And I would say that Anavar will make you sore and eventually, initially, it will give you grip strength, but then your forearms would kind of lock up, and then of course you wouldn't be able to finish the entire climb. Yeah, it's a bit hard. I would look at the taurine, electrolytes, nandrolone. Low dose test, low dose nandrolone. I would prefer that over VAR because nandrolone doesn't really give you this. Of course, it will help with your joints and connective tissue. Maybe TB500, BPC 157 when you're doing a really insane climbing session. And then test nandrolone because if you control your estradiol levels, it wouldn't put too much weight on you. But Anavar would make you cramp, even though it's good for collagen synthesis and maybe for your tendons. I would prefer nandrolone over Anavar. And then no growth hormone because it puts too much weight on you. And if you gain 5 pounds, then literally you have to pull 5 pounds every time you use your arm. Now, if you fucking climb up, 100 times, you have to adjust your positions 100 times. It's a lot of extra strength. I don't think you get out of breath from rock climbing, maybe, and never done it. So maybe look into mitochondrial efficiency aids like SLUPP332, MOTS-C, Methylene Blue. And that would be my stack. But I haven't really looked into it. I've done a couple consultations with a rock climber, but he always did test and train for the libido, and he said he had a good time. But we never really disclosed anything that could potentially help with his rock climbing because I kept the dose just pretty low for him. He was a rock climber, but he didn't ask me for rock climbing advice. So, yeah. How are you going to celebrate New Year's? I come back on New Year's Day. Let's see what day is that. I think I fly back on the 31st. Yeah, so I'll arrive, just come home. I don't chill out. Dude, I've done 40 New Year's. 41 New Year's in my life. I'm kind of over it. So, and in Thailand, it's every New Year's there's drama in the streets. People get fucking drunk, and I try to avoid that shit, man. I try to avoid that shit. In Holland, it's the same. People get drunk, fireworks, accidents. I've seen so much problems. So I'd rather just stay home, stay with my cats. They're probably not going to like the fireworks, so just calm them down a little bit, and that's about it. But I might do a vigorous Q&A on January 1st on Wednesday, because next weekend there won't be one. Then on 21st there will be one. So we only got one vigorous Q&A left in December. And then if I'm in a good mood and the travel wasn't too bad, then maybe we can all get drunk on Wednesday the 1st and start this year off with some whiskey and cigars. The Boozers Q&A. Closed the fucking Pepe along yesterday and now it's mooning. Yeah, that happens, man. But if you made profit, you can't complain. And if it's mooning right now, you just got to wait until it stops mooning. And then if you feel confident that it's going to moon again, then you get in when it kind of dies off for a bit. Benjamin the Heights, I just had 200 milligrams NAD+, 1800 glutathione, 25 grams vitamin C. I think 5 grams is enough. And some magnesium and zinc. Don't remember dosages on a B100 complex. Feel tired. This is normal. I'm assuming this was intravenous. Yeah, the NAD+ and the glutathione can make you feel a little bit tired. So drink a lot of water and take a nap. But 25 grams in IV vitamin C is a bit much. 5 grams is more than enough. Or you say 1800 milligrams glutamine. I think it's glutamine. I think it's all IV. Yeah, but it's normal to feel a little bit off after that. So just make sure you drink another liter or 2 liters of water to kind of dilute everything, and then take a nap. Why do I miss Dianabol pre-workout so much? I don't know. If you like it, take it more often. But for me, it's just blood monster side effects galore. New Year's stream again, cigar and booze. Yeah, I might do that because Christmas at New Zealand with my best friend, there will be too much alcohol, too much cigars. So what's another day of alcohol and cigars? You know, what's another fucking day of fucking my health? What's your favorite cigar brands? Padrones, Cohibas. Fuck, I never remember this shit. But Akibo #5, Cohiba Maduro #5. That's my favorite cigar. But I got a couple good ones in the U.S. But sometimes in the label they don't really mention it. I don't never buy boxes. I just buy 2 of each, one to try and one to confirm that I like it. And then if I like it, I usually take the thing off, and then I bring it with me so I can kind of select. But I just like to try and sample different cigars, and I can't say that I ever had a bad cigar. On Las Vegas airport, I bought some Gurkha samplers. They were really cheap and actually tasted really good. Yeah, I had a good taste. So I bought like 3 sampler packs, and I had one of each. I think 2 packs of Gurkhas and 1 Padron. I think it was maybe $80 in total for 15 or 17 cigars. And there were the ones that I smoked so far, they're all good. Yeah. Yeah, but it's usually I like the what is it called, the Cuban ones, because they're a little bit denser, and I feel that the New World, like the Dominicans or the American maids, they're a little bit loose, and then when you puff the smoke, okay, you get more flavor, but then it also goes in more, and then sometimes you kind of overshoot and it tastes a little bit harsh. So the New World cigars you have to kiss. And the Cuban cigars, you can literally just draw. And I like that effect of a draw. Just like I'd like to take a fucking sip of a glass of whiskey. Or a swirl and not a sip. But if you're a modest guy, then maybe take a sip of a brandy and a kiss of a New World cigar. I agree. Looking forward to the new year. Actually, don't look forward to the new year. So overrated. As I get older, I like the peace and quiet. So, like today, I went to Italian place with my wife. Nice and quiet. Can actually talk. Not too much noise around you. And like these parties and stuff. I went to so many parties in my life. I'm kind of over it. Ferenc, I have post-Finasteride syndrome on 250 milligrams testosterone and 800 milligrams of Primo, HCG 250 IOs every other day, 5 milligrams Cialis. I can feel sometimes slight improvement. Anything else to add? DHT powder. I have sexual issues. Yeah, I would increase the HCG to 500 IUs and increase your calories to the point that is not an issue. And then stop watching porn. That's also an issue for a lot of guys. And then add in some sublingual DHT powder. That seems to make the biggest difference for most guys. And then take it from there, And stop fixating on the sexual issues. Just follow the protocol, eat, don't watch any porn, don't fixate on, oh, my dick is not hard, my dick is not hard, my dick is not hard. Just let it get hard over time. Because a lot of these guys, they're so fixated on it. Oh, it's not getting hard. It's like watching the cryptocurrency chart, right? Oh, it's going up, it's going up. Oh, it's going down, it's going down. Should I sell? Should I buy more? Right? And then they get into this anxiety mode. So if you just leave it alone for a while, don't watch any porn, don't do any sexual, don't count on having your erections, and just stay true to the course of the protocol that you're going to follow. Eat a good amount of healthy fats, relax, chill. I'm sure your dick will come back. And then once you realize you have a good erection, then you're like, hey, wait a minute, this is probably fucking serious shit. And then if you wake up with a fucking giant boner, you take care of it, But a lot of guys are just self-destruct because they keep fixating on it. And that's not the way to go about it. Hey, Steve, have you ever thought about coming to Colombia in the future? No, South America is not really on the to-do list. No. I'd like to go to Machu Picchu and stuff, but there's so many places in the world to visit. But again, I've been to so many countries already, and after a while, everything kind of blurs together, So unless I get invited for something, I'd like to go to Bhutan again. I'd like to go to Tibet. I'd like to go to Mongolia again, but South America, never really seemed. I would like to see some of the ancient architecture there, but I don't know, man. gonna be a dad soon, and it's the traveling that far. It's just not gonna happen for a while. Thoughts on living in Dubai? I find everything is so fake perfect there. Also, people. Yeah, that's what I found the last time. I found that people in Dubai are not really happy. When I talked to people in the gym, everybody seemed frustrated with something. I don't know why. You have money, you can live there. You got the best gym in the world, but everybody just seemed upset and groggy and moody. Maybe it's because they're all prepping for something. But I don't know. Here in Thailand, everybody's content. Happy, chill, laid back. It's easy to get in touch with people, but besides some of the tourists that I met in Dubai and some of the staff working at the restaurants, I know, I'm kind of over Dubai. Yeah, I'm kind of over it. I went there 4 times now. The first 3 times was great. Then we didn't go there for a while. And then the last time I went there, I was like, you know what? The vibe here is not as good as I'd like it to be. So the vibe in Las Vegas, absolutely fantastic. People are super chill, super nice, friendly, in a good mood. And that's where I would want to live. So in Bangkok, you get that. In Las Vegas, you get that. That's about it, dude. Summer in Holland was good also. We went to Leiden in Amsterdam. Everybody's in a good mood. But of course, if you're only in a good mood for a month and then the other 11 months, everybody's kind of pissy and shitty because it's not holiday and cold, and then I wouldn't want to live there either. So all things considering, Thailand's still the best place. And yeah, I don't know. Last time I went there, I was like, you know what? I told my wife I don't need to come back here unless it's for business. I did all the restaurants that I wanted to eat. We did all the activity. We went to all the malls. I could do some dune buggying, take a quad out through the dunes, and maybe do Atlantis, the swimming park. But I would have to come back in high season around this time when it's actually tolerable to be outside. And it's fucking offensive to be outside there. Like in the summer in Thailand, it's hot, but it's not offensive. Like there, if you go there in March, April, May, you don't want to be outside. And then you're basically living in a prison, a luxurious prison, but still a prison. Here in Thailand, they can still go outside, walk around and train in a gym without air conditioning. And like today, we were outside for about 30 minutes. It's not offensive. But over there, half of the year, it's just offensive to be outside. And I do like to go outside, once in a while. Chinggis, welcome to the Vigorous Crew. Captain Flint. Oh. All gear I take makes me sick, even organic oral. Okay, then it's not for you, man. Use HCG monotherapy. If you figured that out already, just don't do it. How do I know when to increase methylene blue dosage? I like all the cognitive benefits are already seen from 5 to 10 milligrams onwards, right? And if you take MOTS-C and then SLUPP332, I don't think you need to go over 10 milligrams per day. But if you have some sort of endurance event where you really need the oxygenation, then 25 milligrams, 100 milligrams if needed. And then I would also lean more towards EPO and ITDP and maybe Mildronate, right? So it really depends on what you want to use it for. So if you want to use it for cognition, I went up to 25 milligrams one day and I didn't notice any cognitive improvement over 10 milligrams per day. But maybe that's just me, maybe you should give it a try. Increase it for a day or two. See how you feel. But if you don't take it for endurance or stamina, then I would not go over 25 milligrams per day. I think 10 milligrams is more than enough. Started steroids after identifying aromatase deficiency. Feel better on testosterone 450 milligrams per week, but estradiol is still not optimal. DC, annotate, even microdoses can crash me. Okay, yeah, that's a potent aromatase inhibitor also. Resorting to estradiol valerate with intramuscular test. Any other suggestions for aromatase inefficiency? Consider HCG I would do, yeah, because it seems that you produce a good amount of testosterone and estradiol intertesticularly. So if you go to 500 IOs HCG with 450 milligrams test, and it's 500 IOs HCG 3 times per week, maybe your estradiol levels will be optimal. And I thought about doing estradiol valerate, but I don't know. You can always add in the nandrolone, but if you have aromatase deficiency, then maybe adding in the nandrolone would not promote the conversion of testosterone into estradiol because you don't have so much aromatase enzymes. But intertesticularly, you might be able to produce more estradiol. So yeah, I would consider HCG as the first thing to try. 500 IOs 3 times per week. Are you cycling SLU? I've been taking it straight, and I really like the energy boost and cognitive benefits. And I think Dean was taking it for like 8 months straight at 400 micrograms to 600 micrograms per day. I'm taking 750 micrograms myself. I'm a little bit bigger than Dean, so get up to dose. And yeah, so but there's not so much scientific evidence on it, so I'm not sure if you should cycle it. I took it out for a week and then I felt pretty fucking tired. I was like, fuck, I need my mitochondria to be functioning at maximum capacity. So, yeah, I like it. I like SLU. It's a good addition to your stack. Genghis, on the next anabolic roundtable with Dean and Kurt, are you ranking peptide tier list? Yes, we'll be dropping next week. Can you please discuss Cartilax with Dean and Kurt? I never heard of Cartilax, and we didn't discuss that during the anabolic roundtable. Very little info about this. Cartilax. Cartilax. Oh, the peptide bioregulators. I did some research on these bioregulators, and I can't say that I'm impressed. I talked with one of the guys from Modern Aminos, and he tried Painkillers pre-workout or before bed, and he said that he had a noticeable effect. But like these things, I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I'm only gonna experiment with drugs that are commonly used and can generate sales. Because if I shouldn't be experimenting with so many drugs anymore. I'm getting old. I'm going to be a dad soon, right? So if I know that there's limited scientific evidence, limited demand, like the Mirabegron deep dive, for example, it's such a niche compound. It's a great compound. It's a great alternative to Clen, but nobody cares about it. It doesn't move any sales. So if I'm exposing myself to these drugs and I can't get some sort of return of investment because I'm detracting from my health, or I don't get any benefit based on the scientific evidence, then why the fuck would I run it? Right now, it's all about the benefits and the money. So if I feel that these bioregulators are not going to generate me any money, or that based on the research that I do, I don't see any benefits, on top of what I already have access to that can be high sellers, then I'm just not going to experiment. I experiment way too much already, and it's going to be significantly less going forward. So no, Cartilax, I'm not going to run it. I'm not going to run these bioregulators ever. I'm not going to try BAM15. I'm not going to try adipotide. There's just less and less and less stuff that I'm willing to run and experiment with. And if I know it's not going to be a compound that people are going to use my discount code, or that I really get substantial benefits, like the SLUPP332 or the Mirabegron. Like, I did the research, and I'm like, you know what? This looks fucking promising. I'm going to run it regardless I have sales or not. But if I do research on this Cartilax or the other bioregulators, and in 10 years, if they say these bioregulators are the shit, okay, fine. I'll jump on the bandwagon. I'll do the research. I'll give you guys the best fucking deep dives you've ever seen. You would never have to watch anybody else's video. That's the purpose why I make these deep dives. You don't need to watch another video. Everything is explained. All right? But right now, I'm just not impressed. And could that be a mistake? Sure. I was impressed with liraglutide, and I'm very impressed with retatrutide. So there's something there from a use perspective and a discount code perspective, right? I can make money talking about it. But I don't see a use for these bioregulators or an opportunity to make money. And if that means that I'm losing out on $2,000 per month, I blink at the charts of Bitcoin and I make more. Oh, another $2,000. So, yeah. Sounds very arrogant and very financially incentivized, but why would I expose my body to more drugs than I need to when there's no benefits or I don't see any benefits? So, no, we will not be discussing that. If I discuss testosterone, yes, you get views and ROI. Iron Grid, don't come here to Denmark, Steve. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Your wallet will hate you. Seeing the true Legoland and the good-ass Legos will only get you here. Yeah. When I have kids, I might go to Denmark in summer, visit Legoland, and then buy a fuckload of stuff. But all the Legos you can buy worldwide, man. They have like 2 Lego stores here in Thailand. They have everything. I check Lego for new releases, but I haven't really seen anything. I've been so busy this week. So I haven't built anything new. I built the X-Men mansion. Yeah, all the shelves are on the way and the lighting and stuff. So I'll maybe when I have time, I'll set all of that up and I'll make a little video about it. But the work is just building up. And again, it's more important now to look at the charts and not reply for all the stuff that doesn't, or not do all the stuff that doesn't have, a high priority. Well, you can do that later. Growth hormone gives me insomnia when taking SubQ at night. I know this is weird. How can I take growth hormone without disrupting sleep? Maybe change dosage times, not at night. Maybe intramuscular injections. Any help is appreciated. I mean, if you get insomnia from it, maybe change brands or take it before fasted cardio or the workout. Take it earlier in the day. You know, it sounds like an easy solution to me. You still get the benefits, but none of the insomnia-inducing effects. Or just change your injection timing. Even worse for me since I literally live here. We're in Denmark. Well, you can live wherever you want, man. Just travel around. Steve mentioned carnitine with 1,000 milligrams per milliliter. Yeah, the ratio form carnitine, I haven't found on any online sources, but here you can buy on Lazada. It's like a Thai Amazon. So I just buy it here in Lazada. I get like 1,000 milligrams for 1 milliliter injectable L-carnitine from Germany. But I haven't found it on any of the sources, unfortunately. Master Coach, doing everything already on the SHBG video, T3 and T4. Okay, bumping up the calories and HCG, not trying to make a mess look ripped, at least until next year on the beach. Yeah, so here's your problem, right? You're not willing to sacrifice getting ripped for getting your libido back. So you're going to have to make a choice, man. If you remove the DHTs, but you stay low body fat levels, then your libido might not be as good and your SHBG might still not come up as high. Bumping up tests, removing DHTs and bumping up the test, that would look like a mess, wouldn't it? Yeah, but if you look like a mess, but actually your dick... I mean, I look like a fucking mess too, but I have sex every day, and it's good sex. So what do you want? Do you want to look good, or you want to have good sex? The choice is yours, man. I'd rather have good sex, because my wife doesn't give a shit, you know? And let's be honest, if you look really, really good, most of the women are intimidated anyway. And what's the point? If you look really, really good and you don't feel like fucking, what's the fucking point? What's the point? So you're going to have to compromise. Right? I know all you guys want no hair loss, 6% of body fat, dick functioning, shredded all the time, but you can't have it all. You're going to have to make some sacrifices and compromises somewhere. So you see all these guys on Instagram, it's all fake. Right? They're not shredded year-round. And if they're shredded year-round, guess what? Their dick doesn't work. Because I do consultations with these guys all the time. Steve, what can I do to... I tried PT1 for 1, I tried Cialis, I tried this and that. This is my blood work, estradiol 0, HDL 4, SHBG 2. So what can I do? I said, eat, you fucking idiot. You got pictures buffered out of your asshole. Post these pictures on Instagram if that's your money-making opportunity. Post them for the next 4 months, but just fucking eat it. Or fake an injury and say that you need to get off and not be in shape, you can't train. And then 9 out of 10 of these guys, they don't listen to me. Then they make the rounds for consultations. They go to Kurt, they go to Dean, they go to Paul, they go to Chase. They go whoever, and they all give them the same advice. Just eat more fucking food and get off all the drugs. Your body is tired, you need to rest and recuperate for your dick to work. Stop slamming all these drugs. And they don't want to listen, and it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And I think it's this, I think it's that, but it's very, very simple. Less drugs, more food. Less focused on fat loss and staying shredded, and more food. And otherwise, send the women to me, man. I'll fuck them for you. My libido's fucking through the roof right now. Just don't tell my wife. But if you guys are not willing to make your sacrifices and fuck all these hot chicks, then I'm going to do it for you, man. Or all the guys that I help and actually listen to me are going to do it for you. And then you get left behind. And you'll be the guy with 7% body fat looking good on Instagram with a dick that doesn't work. When the solution is so simple. Take the drugs out, increase your body fat levels, increase the food, and you'll be horny as fuck fucking day and night. And nobody on contest prep with all these drugs in their system is going to be having high libido. Maybe there's occasionally one guy here and there, but overtrained, tired, low body fat, low SFBG, terrible blood work. It's just not going to work. You know. Again, send them to me. I'll fuck them left and right in every orifice gladly. Gladly. Do you think follistatin 3 for 4 actually works to add much size? And what's up? My dick is up. My dick is up for all the guys that can't get their dick up. Yeah, it's pressing against the desk. That's why it sloped. No, what's up? Nothing new, man. I don't know. I tried one shot today, and I got a fucking crazy pump, but my resting heart rate also went up to... Yeah, now it's down a bit, but I went up to 100. I didn't eat anything crazy. I didn't have no desserts today. So today I went out with my wife, right? So I had pizza, some gnocchi, beef stew thingy, and some pork beef or some pork stew, and the appetizer board, right, with the cold cuts and shit. So it's nothing crazy. Didn't take any stimulants, but then I took a nap and I was like, why's my resting heart rate so fucking high? And I took my blood pressure, it was slightly elevated, so it's what was it, 80 over 125, and then a resting heart rate of 100. So I'm like, can't be good. So I took a propanolol to kind of take the edge off. But yeah, that's what I got today from follistatin 344. But I did take an entire fucking 1 milligram to see how that would compare to YK-11. And all I can tell you, even after dropping the calories this week and not eating so much and taking the Anadrol and the YK-11 out, the contraction and the pump that I got today in the gym, also had a new leg extension, you know, the one with the pivot. So I did that for a couple sets, and then the owner of the gym came by and said, I like the new leg extension. And I pulled my quads up. You know, you see all these fibers and stuff working through all the body fat and the water, obviously. But you still see it working, God damn it. And then he's like, you made some fucking progress, son, these last couple of weeks. I said, dude, I took follistatin 344 today, right at the top of the quad, half a cc each side, 500 micrograms. And this is what happened. And we did some poses. He's like, I think this is the biggest I've seen your legs. So yeah, they're not so much separation, but they're sure as hell big. And then I had to go eat with my wife, and I could barely fit into my shorts. Yeah. Does he answer questions only to members? No, we get this question all the time. We have a lot of members and a lot of super chats, and I answer those first. And well, it's already been 2 hours and 30 minutes, so unfortunately, people who support me financially through a membership or a super chat get preferential treatment. And if that goes on for 2.5 hours, then yeah, I don't see your question. Sorry, Oliver. Benjamin, if I can't do fasted cardio because of time restrictions someday, do I lose the benefits if I do it later in the day? No, so the cardiovascular endurance and the heart health benefits, you still get. All that matters is that you increase your resting heart rate for 20 to 30 minutes per day, do a steady state, maybe do some intervals if you want to. You just lose out on the fat loss. Now, of course, scientific evidence says that it doesn't matter between fasted cardio, if you do it, or the fat loss doesn't matter if you do your cardio fasted or post-workout or later in the day. All of those 1,500 studies do not account for metabolic modulators and fat burners. So take it from the guys with experience. Yeah, but the scientific evidence says this. Okay, that's fine. Take some DMP and mirabegron, and then let's see what happens. Have you tried A031? It feels to me the same way you've described follistatin and leg pumps. I don't get spasms on it. It's just very tight pumps. Just walking and flexing gets painful. Yeah, that's what I got today also. Flexing, it's like something is squeezing the fibers from the inside. Now, when I did the research on A031 and A083, they were into the dosages were what, 50 to 200 milligrams, 240 milligrams bilaterally. So the pricing for A031 and A083 is very high, and the follistatin I got donated because I asked for it. Not a good sale, so you can ask for a couple goodies. So I got a couple of vials of follistatin for modern aminos. So yeah, sure, give it a try. So today I was like, you know what? I can try it now or in February. I'm going to try it now. And yeah, the leg pumps is crazy. Yeah. Can't wait to try it on chest day. Actually, I need a break, man. I need a break from all these drugs. All right, last 2 super chats, and then I'm out the door. Sorry, Steve. I know this is a boring one. I have a nagging injury that's real stubborn to heal. If MPP lets me train, am I good to go? Doing more harm than good. Let it heal, man. Get it diagnosed. Let it heal. Watch the videos. Because the more you aggravate it, the more it gets impaired, and the more problems you're going to have long term, to the point it tears. So sometimes you need time off, man. Like, I've had this nagging shoulder injury for like years, and then I went. I did a couple sessions with a acupuncture, dry needling acupuncture guy from South Korea, blind, and he just went in there and just fucking opened it all up with dry needling, and he did it on my quads as well, and now it's fixed. I had it for years. And at one point, I couldn't even shoulder press. So you just got to find the right treatment to get it done. And now it's absolutely beautiful. So, yeah, sometimes you just need rest. Thanks, Coach. You're right. We'll drop the Winstrol, lower the VAR 10 milligrams per day maximum, and keep 600 milligrams test, 200 milligrams Primo as an AI, also bumping up the calories to 4,000, 10% more for the time now. Yeah, if 200 Primo keeps as an AI, but it might still keep your SHBG low, and take the VAR out completely. Increase the HCG. I think you'll get the most out of increasing the HCG and bumping up the calories. And you can do it week by week until your dick starts to work, but you will probably feel best if you're on test, AI, HCG, and a lot of food. All right, these are the last ones. When taking growth hormone in the morning, can I still eat carbs for breakfast? Yeah, if you take your growth hormone, you do your fasted cardio, then you have your breakfast. A083 only did 250 micrograms once a week. I was reading it as a 10-day half-life. Still got those sides. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty long half-life, right? Yeah, but those vials are mad expensive, man. In my anti-age clinic, they offer IV stem cells and exosomes. Do you see any use? I've never really looked into that. That's not my specialty, unfortunately. I have no idea. That's because it's such an expensive process and such a niche compound that I never really did the research. I don't feel that I need stem cells for anything. So steroids, peptides, food, I'm your man. But stem cells and exosomes, I have no idea. All right, let's wrap it up there, guys. This was a very fun one. I had to ban a couple people, but as the channel grows, if a couple dickheads shows up. So, good night, Chinggis. Take your growth hormone. Shut the fuck up. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Because next weekend I'll be in Holland. So we'll do the 21st December. I'm sure you can go a week without me. You have Paul and Chase. The 28th I'll be in New Zealand. And then if I'm not too hungover and fucked from the flight, but I'm flying business, so it should be okay. From New Zealand to Thailand, it's about 15 hours. So if I'm not too fucked from the flight, then I'll do a Boozers Q&A on the 1st. Dean, see you Tuesday and Monday. See you Monday, bro. We'll drop the Anabolic Roundtable sometime next week while we're all talking about drugs at the Enhanced Game Seminar. People can watch the roundtable and get their hearts broken as we classify peptides. And people are like, why would you put Dianabol in F tier? Fuck you, I'm unsubscribing. I'm sure we'll get some broken hearts when we drop the Anabolic Roundtable. All right, and Chase is still here. I'll fill in for you. Yeah, Chase, please fill in for me. Guys, next weekend, since you guys are all so generous, go to Chase Aaron's website or a live stream on Saturday or Sunday and just super chat the shit out of him, okay? And then tell him Uncle Steve sent you. $1, $2, $5, super chat the shit out of him. So he can make some, because he's doing that all for free. As I was watching his live stream yesterday, and I'm a little bit offended on how little likes and super chats there are in his live stream. So next weekend, whatever you want to super chat to me, you'll get a high quality answer from Chase. I mean, he's the second biggest drug channel there is now. No space on the memory card. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Yeah, so super chat the shit out of Chase Irons' live stream, and then you'll get a good quality answer. And then you can ask me the next weekend. Yeah? Give him some sweet YouTube gains. because I don't think Chase is in crypto. He's in crypto, but not enough. All right, guys, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and yeah, and then I'll have some good stories from the UK and Holland to share with you guys. All right, take it easy.